Episode 405 here in La Cantina MX Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jaime Landeros. We are going to be talking about the match that just concluded, the friendly between Germany and Mexico over there in Philadelphia. It was a 2-2 finish, and we're going to be talking about that. Also, the Ghana game. And then, reverting back to Liga MX. Before I go any further, just want to let you know we are broadcasting simultaneously on YouTube and Twitter Spaces. So go there if you want to talk shit, speak up. I have my good friend Super Elbow joining us tonight.
Good evening. I'm hoping you enjoyed the game this evening, man. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Nice little back and forth, and 2-2 drop probably was just, but I was really happy with the way the game was ending, where Mexico seemed to be the team with a little more oomph there at the end.
Absolutely. Why did it feel like a World Cup game, man? I was here on the edge of my seat, and I was like, man, this is a great game. Unlike the typical moleros that we have during these international breaks.
Well, it's that thing that Joel and some of the OGs have brought this up too. Is Mexico likes to play up to the level of their opponent, right? And so once they start busting their ass, and teams like Germany or some of the better teams are like, oh shit, they're really coming at us. So it really picks up the pace of the game. Mexico does love playing these larger teams, man. And, it's a shame that the directivos and all that stuff don't recognize that, because I personally would love to see Mexico play this style of football on a regular basis, man.
Every window we have an opportunity to play against giants like Germany, I'm all for it. Unlike the usual suspects that we typically have during these international breaks. For those that are just tuning in, it was a 2-2 draw over there in Philadelphia. Antonio Rudiger scored off of a corner kick early in the match, 25th minute. But then Uriel Antuna tied things up before halftime in the 37th minute. And then very quickly in the second half, El Chiquito Eric Sanchez scored the go-ahead goal. And it was the shortest guy on the pitch scoring off of a header. Can you explain that to me, Elbow? Someone explain that math to me. It doesn't make sense.
So again, in watching the way that play built up, I didn't quite catch who it was. Somebody opened up a space for him, and he got right into that little space where the ball was probably about waist high for you, man. And he came flying in, but it definitely made for an exciting play. And actually, that first goal too for Mexico was pretty well drawn out, man.
There were some moments in the match where Germany's defense just had some brain farts. They gave up the ball in their own half, and that's where Mexico, with the high press, took advantage and was able to capitalize on their mistakes with 2 goals. And the man with the iron mask, Eric Sanchez, quickly becoming one of my favorite players. I didn't really rate him that much. I didn't really know too much about him. I don't follow him over there at Pachuca, but man, this guy, time and time again, has shown that he's definitely worthy of wearing the green jersey. And then, of course, Germany very quickly to score, within 4 minutes of that goal. So the game was 2-2. Blood was drawn on both sides. And I think Jimmy Lozano and the Mexican national team can hold their head up high and say we had a great international break. And I think things are going in the right trajectory, right path. I think Jimmy is the guy.
I agree, man. Little what's it, El Chiquito dude? Yeah, he's again, like you. I didn't know a whole lot about him, but man, he's that little engine that could, man. He just presses and plays. And, dude, that's the type of guts that you want out of your players, man. And again, for him to just sneak in on these big dudes, right, and score off of them.
Imagine being Eric Sanchez as a kid, always being short. You're 5'6" at your highest, and you're gonna tell everyone around you, hey, one day I'm gonna go score a header against Germany. I'm gonna do it.
Some of the tallest players in the world, man.
They, if you were to tell someone that when you were a kid, they'd be like, "Yeah, go fly a kite, bro."
No, and regarding Jimmy, I'm excited for Jimmy. I think I saw something sort of click a little bit in that second half of the game versus Ghana, and it certainly carried over to this game. And again, they picked up their level, right? They rose to the level of the competition, and hopefully Jimmy can get them to go this route. And I think, I haven't been on the podcast in a while, but I think I'd mentioned before, if they're going to go with Jimmy, they need to go with him at least 6 years,
Yeah,
right? You want to see what he does this World Cup, because he said, for me, what the way I see it, he's setting a foundation,
right.
right? And this World Cup may be just like any other one, right? Where we round of 16, or maybe even a quarterfinal because of the size of the World Cup. But it'd be the World Cup after that where I would love to see what someone like Jimmy Lozano could do,
Yeah.
right? Or any coach that could get a longer cycle, a 6-year cycle. Doesn't need to be 8 years. 6 years would be more than enough. I don't know. I am excited about it. And again, I think, as we were saying a while ago, we definitely needed a Mexican coach, right? Somebody who could connect with the Mexican player and figure out what all these all these little what is it they call it, little mannerisms and attitude shit that we have, man, as Mexicans. So
Yeah.
no, I'm excited, and it sucks we don't have any other like qualifiers and stuff like that. But I definitely would love to see these guys play more matches, and hell, play some more matches, even if it's middle tiered European teams and Colombia and Uruguay. I'd love to see games like that.
Absolutely. The players are bought into Jimmy's philosophy. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little skeptical going into the match. The lineup and then obviously conceding a goal off a set piece, which was my biggest criticism, because this was a problem that we've had time and time again, cycle over cycle. And then finally someone broke the cycle, and his name goes by Juan Carlos Osorio. He had fixed that issue with the set pieces. We started scoring off of set pieces, and then he leaves, and then Tata Martino takes over, and back to those issues of defending set pieces. It's just something that you could use the excuse that it's just one of our weaknesses, but it was addressed. It was addressed before, and I'm like, that's one of the things that is always an area of opportunity for Jimmy and for the Mexican national team is defending set pieces, man. It happens time and time again.
Well, Osorio made sure that it was a habit that be worked on a regular basis, and again, I'm sure these coaches that we've had since him work on it, but I don't know how much they're working on it, right? And that's something that Jimmy's going to have to look into and see how this works out, because it's brutal, dude.
Yeah. This felt like the round of 16 match that both countries were denied in the last World Cup. That's what it felt like. It felt like that's what was at stake. And one thing that has always been a fault of Mexico is being able to close out these matches against this opposition. Like, we've seen it time and time again. We play up to their level. We go toe to toe, and we show at points in the game that we are the more dominant. We are the better team, but we always fail to close out the show. And that is something that I don't know if we'll ever see that. I don't know if we'll get over that hump. It's been a long time. And when you look at the strikers that we have, I've been criticizing Santi Giménez. I'll call it what I said earlier in a couple of podcasts ago. It's like, look, man, scoring all these goals in the Dutch league, good for you. But starting to make these comparisons that you're one of the top strikers in the top 5 leagues, it was evident today that it's just not there. Like, that success he's having in the Dutch league is not translating to the national team for a various amount of factors, but it's just the level of opposition, the level of defending. Rudiger and Todd just had him in his pocket the whole day. The whole day, man. He just couldn't, and he missed the sitter, which, You don't get those many opportunities against a team like Germany. You got to put them away on the first chance. And unfortunately, today he had a bad outing.
So I think the thing with Santi is I think a lot of people are I think we're all trying to find that world class striker, right? So when Chicharito went to Man U, he was a world class striker there for a short period of time, right?
Yep.
He took over what's his name's job that championship season. Santi's not there yet. That's not him, right? He's not as athletic as Chicharito. He's just bigger than him, and he played a couple of really difficult defenders, and definitely had a lesson to learn off of playing a higher caliber defender than you face in the Netherlands, right? It's something that he's going to have to work through, and at some point, if he continues to score in the Netherlands, a team from a German Spanish Premier League team, they're gonna buy his contract, and he's gonna have to learn how to adapt to that. And I think that's where, you know, or hell, even friendly matches like this, right? This is a learning experience for the guy. That
Absolutely.
hey, you cannot do the same thing that you do in the Dutch league and do that with big ass Germans and get away with that. No, you can't do that. But I think granted he's I guess he wasn't part of Jimmy's proceso, right, at the U23s. Is that right?
I believe so. I do
So
have Abdias here also joining us. He was obviously a big Santi fan at Cruz Azul, so you feel free to enlighten
bring
us, Abdias, if we're missing the mark here.
No, you're 100% right. He was not part of the proceso, right? And that why I don't know. He just missed out on it, but he wasn't part of that.
For sure. Abdias, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Bien, bien, pero todo menos.
Did you enjoy the match? Were you able to catch a?
Bulls, I'm over here on illegal streams trying to do the best that I can. I was able to catch like the last 30 minutes of it.
Okay.
Yo, bro, when you move into Hollandia, it's fucking hard to even find Univision. So I'm
Yeah.
trying out here, bro. No, but I liked it. I liked the performance. You know, it went well. Antuna scored. So for all the shit talkers here of Antuna, you go 2 games, 2 goals. Against the pincho sequel, right?
I don't think he's a bad player, but man, those teeth.
I tweeted it earlier. The worst person you know just scored a great goal, and Antuna, the guy that everybody likes to hate on, man, he continues to score goals. Like, what do you do in that scenario? It's like, shit, I gotta give you props, but I hate you. You know?
He crosses
Bro,
like crap sometimes, man, but he's active.
Your ex-girlfriend Toxica. That's the only reason why you hate him. And you know what? Guess what? He turns you down at every single chance he has to come back.
Oh, he reminds you. He reminds you. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing better than you right now.
Did you see the video? And they're like, ¿Quién es más grande? Chivas o América? And he's like, Cruz Azul. It's like, papá, puro pinche amor.
Well, I think that with Antuna is again he's not amazing at crossing, man, because there's a couple opportunities he had to put in a good cross and send him who knows where or rolled him to a defender, but he's constantly active, and I think that's sort of one of his strengths, right? That's why he was there for that goal. Dude was moving.
And he's really, really fucking good on the breakaways, dude.
Yep.
Like,
that's where you want him, yeah.
See that. He is amazing at the breakaway. Yeah, he fucks it up con los recortes, but every now and then they work out.
Mm-hmm.
And he draws those fouls, those set pieces. Even Rudiger and the German defense fell for his little one-trick pony that we see time and time again in Liga MX. But he draws those fouls, man. He draws you in. He creates those chances. And I think that's where, again, Jimmy needs some work, is capitalizing on these set pieces. We had a lot of corners towards the end of the game. We had a lot of free kicks. And it's just like that final, that final deciding factor of putting the team away and getting that victory. That's what I'd like to see. Some transcendence.
Well, on the bright side, we didn't give away a goal in the last 20 minutes. So I don't know what you're talking about wanting to close out a game. In my book, we closed out a game against a very tough opponent.
No, totally. But I think Jaime is talking about being able to put away a team, right?
Exactly.
Right. When you got them down, step on their neck and close them
Exactly.
out. And I think I think part of it is this, right? So Jimmy is inheriting a team that was on a low and transitioning, right? So when it comes to set pieces and stuff like that, for scoring and hell defending, he's got some guys to work with, right? He's got some size, right? You got like the Montes and Machin. Vasquez has decent size. Santi, Raul,
Hmm.
and I think it comes down to working the right sort of set pieces for these guys, right? And making sure that these guys are working through when he does have them.
I
He
guess
must have
here's
a
my
bit.
question for you guys. Do you legitimately think that Mexico is a better team than Germany?
No,
Today
Exactly.
or
So
today?
no. In general, do you
no.
fuck it? Even today, do you think Mexico is a better team than Germany?
Today, like, are you talking about today's performance or like roster versus roster?
Roster versus roster, performance, todo, top to bottom. No me des pinches ninguneses de que,
No.
pues, ¿sabes qué?
I
güey?
don't
Estaba
think
nublado hoy y me dolían los huevos.
we are not a better team than Germany, but we were better on the day today. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, you know, like, it wasn't cheating, pero nomás le metí la punta. Like, I get it.
No, no. But I think I get what you're saying. No, starting
Like,
11.
we
No.
did what we had to. We got a tie en la pinche Copa del Mundo, güey. ¿Con qué pinche mame sería ahorita por esto? Right?
Yeah.
So then be happy, shut the fuck up, and just take it for what it is.
No, for
You
sure.
know?
It's
Like,
a
they
friend. It's a
performed
friendly.
very, very well. Yeah, Santi isn't doing what we want him to do, right? But Santi has always been better as a false nine. He's a great false nine. We've had this conversation in the past before that the best performances that he's given is when he is a false nine.
I
When
see.
he's able to play behind the line or, you know, right in front of them, get the ball at his feet, and then have to turn around and feed the ball.
So for you, ideally, he'd be better behind Raul or Martin.
No, senor. Ideally, it would be a 4-4-2
Mhm.
with Quiñones in the center, Santi there,
Oof.
but dropping a little bit further back.
Well, no, I'm talking about today, not with Quinones, not with anybody, not with any extranjeros right now. We're talking with today's lineup.
Espérate, güey, espérate. ¿Cómo putas que sin extranjeros?
No te
Let's get
adelantes.
that
No
shit
te
out of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get that shit out of the door right now. All right, extranjeros aren't here to take away; they're here to add.
No, I'm not against anything right now. What I'm saying is I'm talking about today's lineup. You want Santi to play a false. Santi's a better false nine. How do you line them up top?
Who did we take as forwards? I didn't even see the list.
We took Henry Martin, Raul Jimenez, and the other Jimenez.
Ah, pues no mames, güey. Don't put out the cripple. Give me el mamado.
I would have liked to see both Jimenez up top today. I think they could have helped each other out, but you
I
know.
don't know, man. I just, you know what, man? I'm an ableist asshole, and I hate cripples. That's all it is. Like, when I travel abroad and I see that places don't have a handicap ramp, it makes my heart beat. I'm like, yes.
For sure. On the flip side, if you're in Germany, are you happy with your international break? You beat the United States with little to no effort. You've had to go travel, overseas. You're jet lagged, and you're hosting the Euros next year. And your federation says you're playing against the U.S. and you're playing against Mexico. it didn't seem like they were too enthusiastic about their international break. And I'm sure if you're a German fan, I would love to get their perspective of things. And if you guys are listening, hop on, raise your hand, feel free to speak on Twitter Spaces, because I'm sure they're going back to Germany not proud of what happened, what transpired today.
I don't think they're sweating over it. Germany's business as usual. They also are coming off of a rough stretch for themselves, right? So I honestly think they're thinking long term. Certainly, I'm sure they wanted a better result than that, but to me, it's as simple as business as usual.
Yeah, I mean the big pressure on Germany next year for the Euros, right? You're at home. You've failed to get out of the group stage in 2 consecutive World Cups, right? So I feel like there's a lot of pressure. And they have such a great team. They have so many great players. You look at Jamal Musiala today, man. That guy is just a breath of fresh air. What an inspiring performance by him. And there were moments in the match, especially towards the end, where, dude, he split like 4 defenders with one pass. It's like that easy. He makes it look so easy.
That was the point where I was losing my mind a little bit, just because I was like, why the hell are 4 people chasing him around like goddamn ants?
Yeah.
It was bugging me. But no, it's true. The guy's a hell of a player, man, and he was fun to watch. But yeah, I think Germany, with the pressure they have to perform in the Euro Cup, I think what they want is to see improvement, see where they've gone wrong, play whatever they're playing next, and I think they'll be fine in the Euro Cup. But they're thinking long term.
Yeah, they
I don't
are.
know, man. This is their third coach that they're going through on their national team. So you know the pressure's on at Germany. So
That's
and
exactly what I'm
plus
saying.
I don't see.
let's
I can't see them as so. Yeah, I mean, certainly it is the third coach, but I can't see them doing a coaching carousel for the next 5, 6, 7 years or whatever. I think at some point they're going to stick with somebody and see what they can get out of their talent. Right? Something's not connecting right now, and they're trying to figure it out.
I'll be honest with you, man. They were panning over to the head coach of the German national team. Was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like that's constantly what I kept thinking. Like, ¿quién chingas es este güey? Like I'd never seen him. I'd never heard of him. And now, cool, bro. Like once again, who the fuck are you? All right. So that's my thing with him. It's just like it's unfamiliarity. Probably the players feel the same way, or maybe I'm just projecting. It's the pressure's on, man. And I would be honest, and I would say that if they probably don't win in Germany, or at least make a deep run, they will probably replace him.
Wow. Yeah, something's broken there. And it doesn't make sense because most of the German national team is domestic based. Like most of these guys play in the Bundesliga. You have some outliers, but for the most part, they should all be familiar with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And when they travel to camps, they're not traveling across the seas, man. So they can get some good camps together whenever they get together. Yeah, no, something broke. Something broke for Lowe, and they haven't been able to recover it. And I honestly can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's, they win a World Cup in 2014, and then since then it's been Campeonitis. And I was looking at some of these like Euro qualifiers, man. These teams are hungry. England's hungry. Italy's hungry. It's like all these countries are going to go into the Euros next year ready to fuck some shit up. But I know if you're if you're a Germany fan, the expectation always is to win. And you beat United States, which was expected. And I think they were expecting to beat Mexico today. They were, maybe people misinterpreted their comments, but they didn't seem too thrilled about playing us. But
I wouldn't be either.
I
You're a
missed the
world power playing against the peasants. Come on.
I missed the build up to this. So, was there specific comments that gave that away?
Yeah, so they were all, just you could tell they were upset that, they have certain amount of windows to prepare for this Euro qualify, for the Euro next year that they're hosting. A lot of pressure, a lot of expectations, and with the little amount of windows that they have, they scheduled some matches here in the States, so they're having to travel all the way over here, and then the quality of opponents, right? So I think the Mexican press misinterpreted that and said, "Hey, like, are you trying to say that we're not a worthy opponent?" But then
No, we're not.
the players started talking, and they're like, "Oh no, Mexico's complicated. They like to counterattack, you know." So like they did give us some respect, but I'm sure they underestimated us today for sure.
So I guess it's more the what the Euro based players do with us, right? The having to travel overseas and blah blah blah.
That's exactly it. Now, here's the one thing I want to say, Jaime. You walked it back, my guy. What happened? Why'd you change the name of the episode?
When
On yet last episode.
last episode I did Partido Molero or Molero Tour Returns or whatever. Yeah.
And then halfway through you changed it.
No, I didn't change it. I didn't change it.
I don't know, man. I'll send you a screenshot of my freaking Apple podcast. It's got a completely different name.
Oh, the title that I ended up uploading is different from the Twitter Spaces.
Wait, te sudó o qué?
It's all
I
good,
did
bro.
notice that when I listened to it the other day.
All good. Hey, we got Twitter Spaces. Anyone feel free to speak up. Just raise your hand and we'll invite you as a guest. We want to hear it from you guys. Were you happy with today's performance against Germany? Are we proud? Are we celebrating this as a win? One thing I want to be critical of is it was not Chucky's best game. I don't know, man. Something about him today. He just looked a little off. I know he set up Antuna for the goal, but he made a lot of silly mistakes. I would have liked to see more of Chino Huerta. I just want to see what he can do against a German team. He's scored all these great goals. He's doing great in Liga MX, but I really wanted to see him against the world's best. Chiquito Sanchez, what a hell of a game for him. And Santi, I would have liked to see him in a 4-4-2. I think he needed some support there. And him being on an island by himself, I don't think we're going to get the most out of him that way.
I'm excited to see what happens with Quinones if Jamie's going to keep playing a 3-3.
Oh.
A 4-3-3. I don't think he will.
You know what? I am so glad you brought up Quinones because it is official. He is officially a Mexican. So we're going to be able to use him on the next next window, which I believe is in December, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that a mullet tour?
It's going to be at the Coliseum. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. We do have, I forgot, a Nations League quarterfinal. And I believe this is required in order to qualify to Copa America next year.
Oh, shit. All right, never mind. I'll take that oof back.
Who do we got?
I think we're still awaiting our opponent.
Bro, we got Suriname, so watch out.
But I know that there is a break in December, and they're going to play at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. I'll get you guys the date in just a few seconds. They're going to close out the year playing against Colombia in a non-FIFA friendly on December 16th at the Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles.
So we're going to get third-tier players in.
Nah, bro. Colombia's taking this shit seriously. They have to be because they just tied 0-0 against Ecuador.
In the qualifiers?
Yeah.
Yeah, they tied Chile, they beat Venezuela, and they also beat Germany in June.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks
Germany has been slumping, dude.
Yeah, I mean, Japan pushed their shit in earlier this year too.
Well,
Um,
Japan is pushing everyone's shit in. Alright?
I love it.
No, but if it's a non-FIFA date, you're going to get some of the players that aren't. I guess you're not going to get their A team, right? We'll get our players in. They're on the selección that play in Mexico and maybe a few others. I don't know if there's anybody out there you guys are looking forward to seeing, but that's probably going to be the date that we see them.
I'm seeing a meme floating around. Uriel Antuna apology form. Reason for behavior. The media convinced me he was done. I only looked at advanced analytics. I was jealous of. I didn't watch the actual games. I will hereby respect the GOAT and will not talk down to the future first Balón Hall of Famer Uriel Antuna. Wow, man. The memes, man. They just make themselves.
I mean, they're not wrong. It's okay, dude. Like I said, I know you're jealous, all right? But he doesn't want you back. All right. I know that you're crying late at night. You're listening to Chente and all of these things. Pero Yahweh, let it go.
You know, I look at Chino and Antuna and just wonder what could have been for Guadalajara. We have
If you look at the mirror too long, you're gonna risk slicing your wrist.
Looks like Joel has finally joined us. Joel, welcome to the show.
What's up, family? What's up, everyone?
¿Qué onda, qué
I
onda?
hear you talking about Antuna.
Antuna.
I remember when Pelaez got him, and the complaints were he overpaid, that he bought trash. And I remember telling you guys he's gonna play his second World Cup, and pretty sure I don't even if he's not a starter, because anything can happen by then. I'm sure he's gonna be there though. And like you said,
I can vouch for you, man.
thank you, sir. Yeah, and it's like you said, what could have been at Chivas? I always felt it was the mistake letting him go, just because you need that representation. Well, not just because, but a big reason being that you want to have that presence with the national team when kids are watching the national team and some player is doing something good, and they'll say like, "Oh, Chivas defender" or whatever, and Chivas just hasn't had that many players since probably say 06, back when they had, Massa, Salcido, Osvaldo, all of those guys. They just haven't, and it still surprised me to this day that having a player of that caliber, they let him go pretty easy. I'm not sure if it was like indiscipline type of thing, but yeah, it's kind of kind of sucks,
No, not only were we talking about Antuna, but Jaime was bringing up how Chino Huerta was there. What up to last season, was it, or the season before?
At Chivas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he kept getting loaned out, so he was at Chivas up until 2022, but in that time span, he got loaned out to Zacatepec, Morelia, Mazatlan, and he just never really squeezed into the first team.
Yeah, I remember they bring him in once in a while, and every once in a while you'd see this like brilliant play from the guy, and then other times and again, I don't know what the situation for him was there, but there was moments where he looked, I don't know, I don't want to say it's slow, but he didn't look as quick as normal, or maybe even just cold, right? And I know at times I would be like, oh, this guy's got potential, and other times I was like, oh damn, this dude might not pan out.
Yeah.
And I think that's sort of what may have happened, with him at Chivas. But man, playing under Turco, it's working out for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you get the right player, the right teammates, the right system, any of those things. But yeah, we see a lot of um, that just for one reason or another didn't pan out, and then they just go to blow up somewhere else.
Was he part of Dick Chain's time at the club?
I don't think so.
I don't even know. I wasn't even paying attention.
My introduction to Chino was in Sacramento. They had a friendly against Morelia, and at the time Fernando Tena was coach, and he came in and he had a great game. I took a few photos of him. I'm like, man, Chino, I know this guy's gonna, hopefully he makes it. Hopefully he starts to become, regular with the with Chivas, and you'd see glimpses of him every now and then, but he never, solidified himself as a starter. He never got the opportunity, the playing time. And then, he goes on loan to Mazatlan, starts scoring goals, and it's just like, damn, bro. Sometimes it's just Chivas. We have a tendency of, it's like when it's a fruit, we tend to pick it before it's ripe, and then throw it away. You're like, dude, it was perfectly fine if you'd have given it a few more, just giving it some more time. It would have came out great. I think sometimes because Zendejas, right? We did that with Zendejas, and he does great for another club. It's just like, damn, dude. Sometimes it's us.
But look, I think
most
it's.
of the time
It could, I mean, look at Moncho Morales. He came from Monterrey. I bet they started kicking themselves when they saw what kind of player he turned out to be.
I have a comment from Disco Fever. Yeah, over here on YouTube. Welcome to the show, Disco. He said, Mexico would have been better under Bielsa. He won versus Brazil. Plus, he would have retired the never was Ochoa, Raul, and forced generational changes that we need.
See, Disco, pero a quién, güey? Who? Tell me, who'd you bring in? Right?
Yeah, and the retiring Ochoa, there's not that many players of leadership roles right now.
Fuck leadership. Like, just who is giving those type of performances? Because trust me, I want Ochoa out. Today, most of the mistakes, like clear fucking mistakes, were from Ochoa's behalf. Granted, he was able to save them in the last minute scrambles, pero te quedas like, como chingados, güey, no mames. Like, this is clear.
I don't think he had a bad
basic level
game.
Shit. I don't think he had a good one.
I don't think he was at fault for either goal that happened.
Not the goals. I'm not talking about the goals. I'm talking about the plays in there. Like certain things that caught him off guard. That you're like, how, dude? Like, how is something that simple catching you off guard? And so it's just, I don't want him there, bro. He's old. I said this in the last.
I agree, but it's like
at the same time, who are we going to replace him with?
Acevedo, I think, just got cleared from injury, and he's slowly starting to recover. But I mean, name some players. You got what? Malagon, Toño Rodriguez. It's like, dude, we have nobody.
We lost, a period of time there. There's that generation that should be in their early 30s right now, or late 20s, early 30s, that should be getting ready to jump in to take over for them. And somewhere along the way, we lost that, right? And Mexico in the past has never had this issue of goalkeepers. There's always been solid goalkeepers, to take over. Just think this past generation with Talavera and Ochoa and
Chuy
and Corona. Yeah, I mean, those guys were solid goalkeepers. You could have started any one of them, at the World Cup. Obviously, Ochoa was probably a little bit better than them, but I wouldn't be freaked out as putting in what we currently have. And I don't know, some of these moleros that are non-FIFA dates, maybe you start throwing in some of these guys in there and really figure out what it is that they have, because you're going to need them at some point. We're an injury away from having to use one of those guys anyway, right?
It's looking so bad that we might ask Volpi.
I had heard that too. Yeah. Is he going through the process right now too, or?
I don't know if he's already Mexican, actually.
I mean, do you mean to tell me that Volpe's a bad goalie?
He's not a
Is he
bad goalie,
option? Exactly.
but
So
it's
here's the
like,
thing, bro. So what's against naturalizados? Like, what's the problem with naturalizados?
look, I have no issue with
Oh
Volpe.
no, you clearly have an issue with naturalizados. So then what is it?
Ooh, I'm not me. You got me
No, no,
fucked up.
Bro. Every conversation is like, nah, naturalizados no valen verga. Que esto
Nah,
no,
nah.
que
You're
aquello.
mixing me up, dog. That's Joel, maybe. I have no problem. I have no problem with Volpe. I think he brings a factor that we don't have, which is like he's really good on his feet. I don't think we're going to need him to take free kicks or penalties anytime soon, but it's a nice option to have.
I mean, why not, Wade? Pinche mame that one of the top goal scorers in the World Cup is a goalie.
And
because he keeps scoring at the PKs.
there's a couple other names that are being thrown out there. Mateus Doria from Santos, he's also Brazilian. He could definitely reinforce that center back position that we desperately need. I'm not against him either.
I think Jaime's surprise is sort of like some of us that we've never had to go that route at that position. It's the one position I think that we've never needed the extra help at, and we're there now, right?
What,
And so
goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one. It's the one that we've always been solid at. And
Yeah.
right now, nothing.
But then here's the
Nothing.
thing: the national team is typically a reflection of your domestic league. And
Mhm.
what is our domestic league?
Foreigners.
Oh,
That's
heavily
exactly it.
Brazilian, Argentine. Yeah. No,
So
I
therefore,
get. If they're
what is
if
it?
they're
If you can't get high on your own supply, why are you dealing it at the world level?
if they're better than what we have, by all means, right? And if they're going to represent the country well, by all means. But yeah, it's one of those that's where our development has gone, man. In youth systems and stuff like that is hell. We don't even have goalies to replace a 40-year-old Ochoa.
I would like to see Doria. I would like to see Volpe, just to get everybody else pissed off, man. Be like, yo, if you see that, you're like, this dude's representing Mexico, but I'm Mexican. Like, I'd be going hard in the training camp every single day. Be like, fuck that, dude. I need to beat out this player for that position. This is unacceptable. That is how you should take it as a professional soccer player. You shouldn't be like, oh, like fuck foreigners. That's not the answer. It's like a slap to the face, really. I love the idea of having Quinones on the national team. I think it brings some more dynamic. And yeah, dude, Jimmy's gonna have a nightmare trying to figure out who's gonna be our starting striker next year in Copa America.
That's a good nightmare to have, Jaime. That's a good. That's a good headache. That's a good headache to have. A good migraine.
You need to explain, Joel.
Well, just because you have that many good options. Like if your team sucks, then it's easy to pick up the lineup. You have like 2-3 good players. But once you have that many good players, where you don't know who to put, so you have options at that point. That's a good thing, right?
No, but so I think where we stand here is in where Jaime was is Santi doesn't look ready to him, right? And to me, Raul is done, right? And then Martinez. What did you say, Abdias?
I thought Raul was playing decent at his new club.
What, did I hate cripples? I'll stand by that every day. I hate
Damn.
cripples and old people, bro.
You stand by that when they don't have anything to stand on. How dare you, Abdias?
Oh,
Exactly. Yo, you know what, bro? I have a euthanasia plan, 75, and then you're the fuck out. So Ochoa's getting pretty close.
No,
you
but,
must have done that Pixar poster with Jimenez on the wheelchair going on the pitch.
Hey, wait, stop giving out my Reddit name.
no, but Joel, Jimenez at his club, he's on the bench, man.
Oh, I thought, I think his first few
Nah,
games,
bro,
I
he's
think they
bench
were
warming.
decent.
He
And now he just fizzled out, huh?
He's bringing water to the rest of the teammates right now.
He's at Fulham. He's got 7 appearances for them for the season, but he's been kind of inconsistent as far as in the lineup and not.
I think I fell for
Yeah.
the Mexican mommy when they were showing you doing one good pass and then blow it up. If you had a good game.
So
And
I
then
guess
they
here's
show
my
that one good
question.
pass from 5 different angles. Huh?
So I guess here's my question. Cuenta más estar en la EPL riding the pine than being in the Eredivisie breaking all types of records?
For the Euro Nut Riders, yes. Oh wait, versus nah. I would prioritize that you're in good form over what league you're in. Because if you're in the bench, then what's the point of being in the league? Or if you're not getting the
I
playing
mean,
time?
we clearly saw today that Santi just couldn't hang with Rudiger and Ja or Ta. Sorry, I mixed them up.
I mean, and what about the cripple?
I think
needed-
Raul's played in the Prem League for the last 5 years. I don't know how long he's been.
Yeah, but what is he doing now?
I'm just saying he's accustomed to that level of physicality, and I don't think it's one versus the other. I think both of them should have played today. Starting.
Or what about fuck, I'm forgetting his name, dude. Henry Martin to tire out the Germans and then bring in Santi. Why move from that? Why move from that? If it works, why change it? Throw in Martin to get whooped for 60 minutes, take the beating, and then throw in a fresh Santi there too.
Right. No, for me, I prefer good form, right? And like for example, today Lozano obviously wasn't playing all that wonderful, right? So he should have been pulled at halftime, right? For even if it was Chino Huerta, right? He had a pretty decent game against Ghana, right? But maybe that's all Jimmy thought he needed to see. But I'm fine with Jimenez. If he's going to be a future part of the selección, like the future part of that base, then he needs to start gelling with some of those other players, right? But I agree that they may need to find him someone else to play up top with him because he did get beat up on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just him, man. It was just him versus these giant. It looked like freaking what's that one movie with Michael Jordan? It was like Space Jam. That's what it felt like, dude. I'm like, ew.
Well, on the other hand, let's be honest. Santi's physicality, like his physical body, no es el más mamado. Tampoco.
He doesn't need to be. It's either you beat him with speed, you beat him with IQ, you beat him with positioning like Chicharito did, or you beat him with just being a brute. But I don't know where Santi really, fits in with the national team. I know what he's doing at Feyenoord is great, but it's hay niveles.
Oh, wow.
Hay niveles way.
Finally paying respect.
So who in the league could play the 9 position then? If this is how Jimmy's going to play. So we have Martin
and Quiñones.
You see Quiñones as a 9?
What does he play at America? I thought he's a striker.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, look, dude, I just saw him shit on Chivas over the weekend. Golazo de Quiñones over there at the Rose Bowl.
Everyone does that.
Fuck you, bro. Cuando nos toca? I wanna see that before you start talking shit, bro. November 4th, bro. You don't want that smoke.
Come at it, bro.
Oh, I'm coming.
Your best player is getting traded away. All right. There's rumors that they're trying to offer him up for Acevedo.
You know what? I'll take it. I'll take him. I'll take Dorian. No, I'm kidding. No, yeah, I'll take Acevedo. Why not?
So you're willing to trade one of your franchise players for a goalie?
At this point, dude, I'll take him for anything.
Well, it would be for 2 players, right? Not just the goalie. It would be.
Yeah, it's for 2 players. Yeah, but it's fucking Acevedo and I don't know, try to fucking cobble together somebody.
Acevedo's like could be future national team players, so that's in line with what I like to see. I don't know who the second player, but
Yeah, well,
I mean,
through Chivas
he is the
you guys
front.
could trade him away like halfway
Well,
through the season.
Yeah, but it's not because the club doesn't want him. It's more like he
'Cause they
dropped the
can't afford
ball
him.
as far as no, he dropped the ball. He was they gave him the before the World Cup they signed him and they gave him the massive contract and he he didn't do anything after that. He's been a bust. The pólvora got wet.
You know what?
That's it.
I'll take him for Santiago Munoz and Carlos Acevedo. That's a fair trade.
And then watch him do good. I'm not against these players doing good, by the way. I just don't like when fans sort of equate the club like it's the club's fault. You know, like the kind of some people were doing with trophies. He ends up doing good in Pachuca. Like, well, that had nothing to do with Chivas. He wasn't being professional or being as serious as he should have been.
I don't know, man. There's something happening at Chivas. Like the
I-
fact that
you know
you
what?
guys have continuously these problems.
Yes, yeah.
There is something wrong at Chivas.
We just hire. We buy horny players. Well, you know.
Well, I think I know what it is, guys. I'm pretty sure. Have you guys seen He Got Game?
No.
Yeah.
Dude, you haven't. Jaime, dude, seriously? Spike Lee, He Got Game? With Jesus?
I'm Googling it right now.
I'm sure you've seen it. There's no way Denzel Washington plays the dad.
Dude, I have not seen this. I need to watch it.
Oh, you really, dude, it's really good. Well, for you guys have seen it, Diaz and Codazo, I'm sure you've seen it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So remember when there
like Ray Allen or something like that?
Yes, it's Ray Allen playing Jesus Shuttleworth.
That's
but to remember when the movie starts, he's in high school, he's going to college, and he's one of the top rated basketball players. And so they're recruiting him. And so remember when he goes to one of the universities and they have like a former player show him around?
Yep.
And then he takes him to the dorm, opens the door. And the 2 girls are like in bed. 2 old babies just waiting. I think that's kind of like when you're a Chihuahua player and you have these like player agents trying to take you to other teams or trying to buy you out. And they just take you out in the night of the town and it just goes to hell, dude.
Yeah. You just don't. It's an institutional problem, man. So
yeah, and it comes
Chivas problem. I blame Amaury because it has to come from the top. You can't have gone to 4 sporting directors and still had the same issue.
Yeah, it's been
the players don't respect.
Well, not just Amaury, since way before him. It's always been that problem, and you had that one player. Who was it? No. Remember he was thanking one of the cartel guys.
Oh, that was Briseño. Pollo.
Yeah, dude. Pollo. I mean, yeah. So I think when that happens, you have some of this popularity. You have that popularity of the team, and you have these people. And just like in high places, not just like cartel. It could be different type of people where they just befriend you to be close to the team or to have like that inside access. But then what are they offering you in return? And it could just be like that party lifestyle. And I think, and you would say like, oh, America, right? America should have that problem as well. But I think they just handle it better because it's Televisa, they're massive.
Every club does this. They just have a better PR department than we do.
Well, but I mean, like America's like Televisa media conglomerate.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
control a lot of the news, so they could silence shit before it even gets out there.
They can
You know
control
what I mean? Like if
all the moles.
yeah, like when you say like TV Notas or whatever, they probably own like half of those newspapers, so it's like they're just not gonna put it,
Yeah.
and they make
It's
sure it
like
doesn't
if you
leak.
post
Like,
this, your career is over. So you better not.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like if you're trying to make it to a bigger radio station, to a bigger newspaper, a bigger magazine,
Yeah.
yeah, they could blacklist you.
And it's evident
I
in
mean, that-
the press conferences with Chivas, right? It's like all these Repor fans, like they're too scared to ask, the critical questions, as because they want to continue to, receive media passes to these events, and you can't bite the hand that feeds you, so to speak.
Yeah, you know what, Jaime? I'll criticize them, but I would do the same thing. They send you the New Jersey. They send you the season press pass, the parking pass. I mean, dude, you get spoiled, dude. So at that point, it's like, what problem? It's,
That's funny.
You're like the dog. You're like the dog sitting in the fire. Everything's fine. But
They send you
but
one
no,
of those
dude,
special massages
no, but
that they used to give at Chivas.
no, but you will get a lot of stuff like you could get hooked up with interviews with players. Like, you could have like that exclusive interview. They hook you up with again like the stuff from the shirts and all of that stuff. So then it's like, well, damn, dude, I'm not. It's yeah, it depends how serious you want to be of a reporter.
Real quick, in the YouTube chat, Franklin, shout out to Franklin Cap. He says, I don't think Santi is ready, but you guys need to chill out on him. He still has plenty time to grow. Give him a couple of years in the national team. Then you can criticize. A couple of years, dude. I don't think anyone has that luxury. But
Look, here's what I'll say, all right? Yes, Santi isn't done cooking, but at the very least, man, use him as a super sub.
oof,
All right.
Yeah.
Oof, what?
that's not what
Like-
that doesn't fall in line with all these amazing visuals that people be tweeting about and sharing on social media about how he's one of the top goal scorers and in one of the top leagues in Europe. That doesn't fit with the narrative,
just-
man.
That's just
I mean,
Mexican
he is.
desperation to have a world class player. We haven't had one since Marquez.
I mean,
So
he
there's
is
this
a
like
world-class
desperate need
player,
to have who?
but Santi. But
No.
yet he's not
No,
done.
no,
The proceso
te
isn't
mamaste, güey,
finished.
te mamaste. No,
¿Qué, güey?
Eres
¿Rompiendo
un
todos los
estúpido.
récords de la Eredivisie? ¿No es nada?
Bro, he
Lo-
is not
lo hicieron
world class,
todos?
bro. If he was world class, he would have scored that fucking sitter today, and he would have
That's why
gotten
he's the
gotten the
he's
penalty.
highest valued player in the Eredivisie ever.
Of the
Oh
yes.
my God.
I'm a supporter of Santi. I think he's going to turn out to be a pretty decent player. But Josie Altidore won the Dutch league.
Sí, güey, pero yo
Yes,
sí Storm me mama un huevo.
But,
Like,
but
that's
was
the
he a
difference.
was he a world class player?
Hey, I'm not
For the
saying he
US,
can't
he
be.
was.
I
I'm
think
not
he
saying
has
he was
potential.
Santiago can't be world class. I'm just saying right now he's
So,
not.
Yeah,
He's not at that level, dude.
he needs
If
to
he
do.
was,
Yeah,
when he's world class, all the top clubs are going to be fighting for him. He's going to be commanding that 100 million price tag.
Just wait
Is
until the
that
end of
easy,
the
dude?
season. Just wait until
Well-
the end of the season.
no,
Then
and,
you'll be-
and I hope that happens. I hope that happens, right?
Same. It's not like I don't want it to. I want the best for that guy.
Yeah, this is why I'm telling everybody to slow the fuck down with Santi Jimenez. He'll be there. It's just right now, it was evident today, dude. He's not that guy yet.
I still think he belongs in the national team, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. He
And if
deserves to be here.
needs- Even if he had like that bad match, he should still play the next 10 games.
I'm just waiting for Quiñones to
hasta
come
que
in
dé
and,
una.
and take the
Wait,
show.
If we have a cripple on the team, what the
Oh,
fuck are you talking about the next 10 games? Like,
I
kick
mean,
that
playing,
fucking manco the
start
fuck
playing.
out.
I'm saying even if he looks bad, like keep going at him. He's bound to eventually, or not him even, could be Jimmy, find what works best with that player. Because sometimes these guys have to do what the coach tells them, and coach could be using them in a completely different way. I don't follow the games in the Dutch league, so he could have him using different tasks than what you're used to, and so that could throw him off as well.
Yeah, Santi plays a false nine.
Listen,
That's what he
man,
plays up there.
I think Jorge Mendes is Raul Jimenez's agent, so he ain't going anywhere.
He's, well, yeah, I mean, you think he has that pull with FMF with the Lamborghini?
I'm just saying, if he had any other agent, this dude would be playing in
Oh
the
yeah, for sure, he would. Yeah, he would have been.
The
He
fact
would
that
have been at
he,
Tigres right now.
yeah, the fact that he was able to stay in the EPL, dude, that's even though he's Humpty Dumpty, it's
Oh,
that is some fucking miracle work over there by Jorge Mendes. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I would hope that at some point they leave him off the squad and see if he can get himself back together. And if he can't, that's okay, man. He had a hell of a career and had a nice little run in Europe and got to participate in some World Cups and so be it. But it's time to give other people a chance and hopefully somebody else pops up, man, because I don't like the idea of just being two. Well, never mind, three. Quinones could take over that spot.
Talking about popping up, we have Tom, our good friend, joining us. Tom, it's been a while. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. It's the resident football noob here. Just listening to you guys talk. Always entertaining show. I haven't kept up with Mexico in a while, but it's interesting. This young cat here, Santi, Santi the Savior, right? It seems that this is indicative of a bigger issue, which is a lack of talent, right? I haven't followed the team in a long time, but I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Is this the lowest that things have been in terms of talent? Because this is probably what's going on, right? Mexico fans are putting all of their hopes on this young kid here, who might just be a solid kid, just a regular player, but because of the lack of talent, it's like it's like that lack of abundance. It's like when you're dating a girl, right? And let's say, or when you're not dating girls, you're not getting dates, right? And then you settle for like the fat chick, right?
This is exactly that scenario,
what do
Tom.
you have against Cody Buena?
Welcome
This
to
is-
the podcast.
This is a shallow in hell situation,
I'm not calling Santi a gordi
Hello,
chula,
bro.
bro. Tom,
but it could be indicative of that. And I hear you guys talking about Raul. I don't know a lot about Raul's injury, but it seemed like it was a pretty intense injury, right? It's a cranial
yep.
injury. That's in many instances. I mean, that's even in other sports. That's a career ender. So
Absolutely.
I thought he was gonna be not world class like Marquez, like that type of level, but I thought he was gonna be the chance to be like the next guy,
Yeah.
to be a legit star. But in terms of what we're seeing now, I don't know. I follow Italy too, and it's kind of bleak for Italy as well. But in terms of Mexico, it seems maybe Santi could turn out to be a very good player. We don't know, but it is also kind of unfair to put all the pressure on this kid, who who's doing his thing in the Dutch league. But only time will tell. But yeah, just curious to see what you guys think. Is this a Gordi Chula situation that has evolved into into Mexican football because I don't.
Yeah,
Dude, you
I don't wanna
nailed
be
I
the
it.
agree
You
with your
nailed it.
assessment, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't want to.
let me go real quick and I'll let you go, Joel. But I've been
Yeah.
saying this for Tom with analogy. This is definitely a Gordy Guap situation. We are not doing so well in the dating pool, and Santi's are, and I'm the only one seeing through the bullshit. This is a shallow house situation where I see it for what it is. It's a fat bitch, and everyone else is like, no, man, this guy is the truth. He's
So-
really hot.
To
You see them dancing.
to borrow another analogy, maybe we need to, as a Mexico fan, if I may suggest, perhaps you need to undergo some post nut clarity. Maybe you need to go on a long walk and get out that angst, and maybe then look back and say maybe Santi, he's a solid player because I haven't followed him a lot, but he's not a terrible guy, obviously, right? He has the skills to be a legitimate professional. But also, let's think of it this way: it's also probably not fair to him to place all of the hopes on him because, I mean, Chucky Lozano, he was as high as you can get, right?
Yep.
He scored a goal in the World Cup against
Germany.
the World Cup champions.
Yep.
And then he went to Italy, Napoli. He won with Napoli, but he didn't do well. So it's like on a dime, like our assessment of players can literally change overnight. Joel or any of the guys, the older guys. I'm 37, so I remember. I don't know if you guys remember Adriano at Inter Milan.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we talked about him a lot
we
here.
talk about him a
Like,
lot.
He's a beast.
Yeah, that guy was. Even Zlatan would say that guy was like in practice. Like, that guy was literally an animal, right? No one can bring him down. But like that guy went from like top of the world to bottom.
Well, he lost his
Yeah,
dad.
like
I think he's in the
Yeah.
favelas right now. I think he ended up in the
he is, and
slums.
he's like a forgotten guy. He's like lost it all, and he didn't go to jail for drug trafficking, but he very much nearly did. So it's like all of these guys that like we dubbed to be the next guy.
Yeah.
It's like very much like small percentage anything happens. So I think the bigger issue is just get more talent, right? Just get more
Exactly.
talent. Fucking ditch the model. It won't, because I'm sure Liga MX makes a lot of money with the TV deals. So it's like it's a very difficult situation. The goal is like just get more talent, and all of this goes away. But just curious to see what you guys think.
Just real quick, I'm sure there's like where Adriano is, whatever favela, must be some insane pickup games going on in there, man. With some of those players at that
Yeah.
level, even
those
Dani
guys.
Alves, it was like probably better than most like
Yeah,
games that
it's
we'll see. Just you're just sitting there and watching, hoping there's not a shootout.
poverty in difficult times, it breeds like desperation, and maybe that's to tie it back to what we're seeing when Liga MX, like just Chivas or literally all these players. Like if we look at like North America or Latin America, if you're a player in Liga MX in terms of like professional level as a professional soccer player, you have it made, right? Like the pay is not bad. The pay is not
That was
bad.
really good, actually.
Yeah, the pay is not bad. Like you have a pretty good fan base. You're on TV. You can like become like a cultural icon. So it's like literally, it's not the worst thing. And for most players, they cash in and just coast. They have like no
Yeah.
reason or no ambition.
Yeah, from that, because like from that first, a lot of times from that first season when they get that first big, like that big
Break.
contract deal, and
Yeah.
they end up just going all out, and they like end up buying a house and getting the nice car, and at that point it's like you said, they kind of in their mind they already have it made, like they got all this stuff already. I think where they kind of mess up a lot of these guys. And I keep in mind that these guys came from like poor upbringing, so they're lacking some of this, better examples and whatnot. But it's like, well, you're living this lifestyle, but if you want to maintain it, you need to stay earning this type of money. And I think that's where a lot of these guys mess up. But yeah, it could be easy to lose that motivation once you have, like trophies where he had his swinging bachelor pad and his hosting orgies. I think at that point he was like, I'm done, dude. I'm
Yeah,
score
even
maybe 3 goals and that's
I think I dropped in on last week or maybe the week before. You guys were talking about like just the lack of professionals on the team, right? Like let's not even talk about like top tier talent. Let's just talk about professionals. And one of you guys made reference to Talavera. That guy's not a world class stud, right? But that dude is he's a professional, right? Like you know what you're gonna get out of him.
Yeah, he's a solid pro. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the other part too. Like where you need solid pros on the team to provide guidance. Like it would be like perfect situation if somehow a guy like Marquez was a part of the team to be able to like offer guidance on the just how you bring up young players, like just those guys, like even what was his name, Pavel Pardo, having like guys like that around the team just to offer guidance,
Yeah.
right? Like
yeah.
this,
Part of the saying from there was a podcast with him. I think it was Medrano, and he was talking about why he went to Germany,
yeah, and he
and he
talked
said
about how he was amazed by how they trained twice a day, right? They had
yeah,
2 a days, right?
yes, yeah, and but his mentality, like saying, I wanted to be at the Champions League, and I knew that the team could only finish back when he went. It was only the top 2 teams, and he was focused on doing that, and that's crazy because that they still going on to win the Bundesliga, but just having that mentality was just is very impressive.
Yeah. Real quick, look, we've gotten to that part of the show where Habibi's here. I want to see his excuses for Santi today, and then we also have Ricardo joining us. So this conversation just got a little bit bigger and a little bit feistier, and I'm all here for it.
The official Santi apology.
Let's go, baby.
Well, I mean, it's like I said the last episode, man. The difference is that you guys hate so much, but to me, I just laugh at it because I said to me, Santi's not Mexican, dude. If you knew anything about soccer, you would know that Argentinos disappear against Germany. If 2014 didn't teach you that, I don't know what to tell you, my guy. Like,
But they appear against Panama, right?
they appear against Panama and England. Play England in the next Fecha FIFA, and Santi rips a hat trick, my guy.
I don't know, man.
But
The Falcon Islands have something to say about that.
hey, well, let's play them too while we're at it. But no, the thing is, like, I think Tom was saying, Chucky Lozano, he was top of the world and all that. To me, it's not even the same comparison because one's Mexican, the other's not. It's like I've been saying, the coach of the national team has to be Mexican because sometimes you need that one thing that is not tactics, is not studying the opponent, is not formation, is not what form you're arriving. It's just Mexican and that pride. Like that's
This
just
guy's
that
lived in
pride, that
Mexico pretty much his
motivation.
whole life.
The dude's out in his whole life, nothing, my guy. I saw the celebrations when they won the Gold Cup. They had like the after party in the hotel with the families. They had like a DJ and all that. Bro, when they were doing the Mexican music, the banda, he looked like worse than the pocho. He didn't know what was going on. Him and his girl were just like clueless.
That
Oh
would be
my
me
Playing
too,
the
bro.
god.
Come
cumbias,
on,
the tangos, and
come
all
on,
that.
bro.
Oh man, he was spinning her. He was like, oh, he exactly knew what was going on. Dude, his family's Argentinos, his parents Argentinos,
But they
his
all live
close
in Mexico.
relatives Argentinos. Because he says he likes Mexico, loves Mexico. Yeah, he might have pure intentions, but it's not gonna give you the same motivation if he played for Argentina and he was connected to his roots to that level.
Eres un estúpido.
It's like Pepe, man. Look at Pepe. Pepe just gave a press conference. His Spanish was killer. Pinchy McKenny was like, "Damn, I didn't know your Spanish was that good," and he's like, "Yeah, I promise you, if Pepe had a choice of which team he would have played for, he would have played for Mexico, but he felt professionally he had a better chance with the U.S." And wouldn't be surprised that Santi, same thing. He felt professionally he had a better chance with Mexico than he ever would have had with Argentina.
You know, I spoke to some fans when I went to cover Mexico against Chile in Austin, and they came all the way from Dallas, and they were obviously they knew Pepe, and they're like, we thought this guy was going to play for the Mexican national team. Everybody did. You know, he's Mexican. He claims Mexico. And then when it came down to it, he decided to go for the team that was going to take him to the World Cup, and that was the U.S. But that was a professional decision. It was not, I don't think, a decision that he would have liked. He would have probably picked Mexico, but he had no chance.
And I feel the same way about Santi. So when I praise Santi, man, I'm praising Santi on his league performance. If he does great for Mexico, great. I mean, he plays for Mexico. You want any player that does great for Mexico to do well with the national team, unless your name is Jaime Landeros, then that's different.
It just doesn't add up, bro. You over here scoring all these goals.
Liga MX product. If a Liga MX product is doing well in other leagues, I'm all for it. And I'm talking any team. Like I said this before, Guido Rodriguez, when he was at America, I would watch America games just to watch that guy play because you could tell he was head and shoulders above everyone else in the league. And then when he went to Betis, I would watch him play just to see how he would do. Like, wow, this dude was above everyone else in Liga MX. Let's see how he does in La Liga. And automatically becomes a starter, plays all the games, then goes with Argentina to the World Cup. That's it. I'm cheering for Santi because he's a Liga MX product. If you can't claim Liga MX this, Liga MX that. If Dutch league is a farmers league, Liga MX is the best thing in the world. But then when the player comes out of Liga MX and does well, you start looking for every opportunity to rip them. So that's why you said,
man. I just knew that the hype didn't.
Trash league.
I just knew it didn't add up, bro.
This game showed them what it's going on. This game exposed them. We're talking about one game. He had that one shot where Ter Stegen barely got it out. He could have had a penalty, but regardless, it's one game.
No, it is one game. It is one game.
It is one game. So shows how he wasn't the greatest thing in the world for scoring a goal against almighty Panama.
What
He's
about
not
Qatar?
The worst player in the world for not scoring a goal against Germany.
What about Qatar?
What about Qatar? The only loss that Jimmy has on his record with
He
Mexico
started
so
that
far?
game, didn't he?
The only loss that Jimmy has on his book.
He started.
So he's responsible for the loss as well. Because last time I checked, there's 11 players plus how many subs at this point?
This must be the longest red herring I've ever listened to on this podcast. If you guys would allow me, I'd like to drop some truth bombs on you guys.
Let's go, Ricardo. It's your time to shine.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank all you guys for being here. I'd like to tell you guys. Yes.
Thanks for the invite, Ricardo.
You're welcome. Well, anyways, if there's two things that I dislike the most, one of them is fake news, and another one is Mexican indigenous minds like Habibi getting manipulated and him falling into those fake news manipulation tactics. Because he just gave off a big spiel about how it's just one game, like preloaded excuses, right? Because
yes, it's a 22-year-old and it's one game, my guy. This is how you get better. Exactly how you say.
If you're not gonna count the Qatar game, you're not being objective.
Exactly how you say that Mexico needs to play these kind of opponents like Germany and all these top teams so they can learn from it and become better. The same thing applies to players individually. He had one play where he went against Rudiger and Rudiger put him on the ground.
Oh, so he's casi goals now.
Your eyes.
Santi casi goals.
I need to
like the Apocalypto movie. Almost.
I need to improve on that and get better.
All I'm saying is Chicharito at 22 was scoring goals at Manchester United, bro.
What's your point?
I'm just saying.
I was waiting.
Point?
I was waiting for the second coming of Luis Suarez coming. Luis Suarez, he rompió
no one has ever
Ajax,
said that,
right?
Guy. No
I
one
mean,
has ever said that.
he's the leading scorer in Eredivisie. I mean, when you're scoring against teams that have 5,000 seat stadiums, I mean, so look, Henry was getting torched and crucified just like Raul because they weren't scoring, right? We got the memes and the jokes going around. Casi gol, this gastador, this and that, right? So what does that make this guy? He doesn't even do sweet rawonas like Raul does.
No,
He
the
doesn't
difference
score.
is
He
the
doesn't
media.
score.
That's why those guys are getting ripped because your favorite sports network, Televisa, they made those guys into memes.
Also,
They
you
made
want.
those guys into memes.
So
Hey,
you want that?
when
So
Ochoa
you want
had
that for
against, I can't
Santi
even
then?
remember that European country.
So
Whatever
you're
the
crying
European,
about him
Middle
not getting that
Eastern.
type of attention?
When they
Is that what
scored
you're
that
doing?
goal on Ochoa, the commentator said, Ochoa casi es un paradón, pero fue gol.
What does that have to do with Santi?
It has to do the same thing with Raúl and Henry.
Mm-hmm.
¿Qué gol de Santi? Pero vamos a ser honestos. Henry desgastó a la defensa.
So
Si Henry no
Santi no
desgasta
gastó
la
hoy.
defensa,
So he didn't get
Santi no
anyone
mete
tagged
Santi
today,
didn't
right?
even do that today, bro. He didn't do
So he
shit.
couldn't get
Hey, él la
anyone tagged
desgastó.
today.
Él la desgastó.
Oh my
Does Henry then
god,
come in
dude.
and put it in?
You see the double
Listen.
standards.
No,
Mexican
that's not
manipulation
That
double
is
at
standard.
finest.
That's me joking around and trolling you.
Oh,
Indigenous
now it's
minds.
trolling. Now it's trolling.
Indigenous minds being manipulated is something I just can't stand to see, man. That's why I have to
Who's
come on
being
here.
manipulated, my
Oh
guy?
god. Listen,
Because you're falling for the
Latino.
Dutch fake. It's fake hype. Look, I don't care. Maybe this will come bite me in the ass in a couple of years. But he's not that type of player. He's not.
Bro.
He's just a regular Mexican style player. Like he was brought up in that school. He'll at best he'll have good seasons, but he's not a difference maker type of striker. The way the media and a lot of anti-Americanista media and fans like you like to paint him out.
Who said he's the difference maker?
oh
He's a
dude.
good striker.
He's scoring all
and
these goals
good
in
form.
Dutch league. You think it would translate to the national team. That's all I'm saying.
Form. What's a
good striker and
difference
good
maker
form.
like Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi?
Look,
or are you talking
dude.
about a guy who's in good form?
If you're good everywhere, bro. And
He's
that's my criticism.
Your criticism is invalid because I promise you, Jota Macías would have went from Chivas, 20
dude,
team
red
in the
herrings,
Dutch
bro.
league, and he had
Stick to
12
this
goals
topic.
in 8 games. You be sucking off Jota yourself right now.
Listen, we got some new people that want to hop on. I'm gonna give them the opportunity to shine. JP, you are next, and then we'll have Servant of God after that. Real quick in the YouTube chat, Jesus Garcia said, even though it was a friendly, it felt pretty competitive today. And Disco Fever said, Ricardo, ! Number 1. JP, it's all you.
I appreciate that, Disco. I really do.
And you're on mute, JP.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, welcome to the pod.
Welcome.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, you guys are kind of right about Jimenez. Like, he should be performing. He really should. Like, there's really no excuses for that. He plays in a semi-decent league, and he should be scoring goals. I don't know if it has anything to do with the service or anything, but I don't know. Should be scoring goals, man. But I'm not worried about up and coming talent because Jota Macías is on his way back.
Okay. We'll see about that, JP. I have my reservations with Macías. And it's not even about him. I think it's just the doctors that we have at Chivas, man. We have this tendency to do these surgeries on players and they don't do them correctly and then they get re-injured. So I hope Macías comes back. He's shown that he has the mindset and the attitude and the discipline to do well as a professional. He didn't get a fair shake at his time at Getafe and had to come back to Chivas, with the tail between his legs, and then unfortunately got that injury. So at this point, the verdict's still out for him.
Hey, wait a minute.
Orbelín failed in Celta, but Jota didn't get a fair shake. That's all I needed to know.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. He absolutely failed there. I'm not trying to make excuses for him.
Well, that's what it sounded because I clearly remember you saying that Orbelin failed at Celta, that he was a bum, so he had to go to a fisherman's league. But all of a sudden, your boy Jota Jota didn't get a fair shake.
Well, he came in injured, bro. It's like, what can you do?
Hey, he left on those conditions. He knew how he was arriving.
And Santi knew he was playing against Germany. He didn't score.
Yes, and you're comparing one game to the actual half season of a player. So
Half
try
season.
again.
Half season? What half season? What are you talking about?
Jota, his half season at Getafe.
Hey,
Actually, it
but
wasn't even half a season. What was it, 4
Jota
months?
Macias is a better striker than Santi Jimenez.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
Oh,
Yeah,
the numbers prove
Jota
it.
in his prime with Leon, it was definitely more promising.
No, he's a better player. His Liga MX numbers prove that.
Like I
He
said,
wasn't the
him at
second guy.
Leon, he was more promising.
Yeah, in Leon.
But the
When you go to
thing
Chivas,
about
when you're
soccer,
surrounded
all
by
that
trash,
matters
you
is
can't
who's hot at the
can't
moment.
prosper.
That's all matters. Who's
You
hot at the
can't get
moment.
you
Are you gonna
you
start
can't
Raúl
succeed.
because he had a
Just
chilena
like
8
Chino
years ago?
Huerta. Look at what he's doing at Pumas.
Huerta.
So it's a
Huerta's hot right now.
so you're saying it's not a
Huerta should start over
coincidence.
Chucky.
Polvo Guzman left. He succeeded.
What?
Jota
He said
Jota
Pulvo Guzman.
Macias left. He succeeded, and now the Mexican Mo Salah is at Pumas, and he's showing off. I'm not saying he's succeeding because he hasn't done shit yet. So you think you're saying that's not a coincidence?
You just went from talking about Santi and Jota Jota to talking about Chivas
Yeah,
and players leaving.
I'm calling you out, man. Yeah.
What are you calling me out for? I've been saying this the whole time. I've been saying that the reason players succeed outside of Chivas, you want to talk about manipulated? Your typical fan like Jaime, he'll tell you it's because they can't handle the pressure of the jersey. It's because the jersey's too heavy. That's why those guys suck. No, the reality is that Chivas has a crappy roster, so they don't have the guys to hold the
Whoa, I
weight.
disagree with that.
They don't have the guys to hold the weight for the younger guys to be able to develop and grow into their role.
It's not the same
When
playing for
Alexis
Leon
Vega el
and playing for
borracho,
Chivas.
when
That's all I'm saying.
Alexis Vega your borracho is your best paid player on the team, and he's the one that's responsible for throwing the team on his back, and he's not doing it. And then the media looks over at Yael Padilla, who just has 5-6 games as a pro, and they say, "Oh, Yael Padilla sucks, man. He scored 2 goals in his first 2 games, and then he dropped off." And then they go to another team, Pumas, America, Monterrey, Tigres, where we're talking about professionals, where they have these experienced veterans taking the weight off them so they can flourish into their role. That's what's going on. Yeah, sure, la camisa pesa to a degree, but not really. You can say, "Oh, la camisa de Chivas pesa," because all the titles, all this and what.
No, it's
Chivas
the
has been
expectations.
mediocre for the last 30 years. So how can it
You can't
pesar?
tell me it's the same playing.
A camisa
Dude,
that pesa is a camisa that you consistently are winning, that you're consistently fighting for titles. That's something that pesa, because you know that for the
no,
last
dude.
10 years, season in and out, the team is competing to win. So if you fail, that's truly a fracaso. But if you're coming into a team that wins the championship every other 10 years, that, every now is struggling to make liguilla, that's not pressure. That's made up pressure. The real pressure is that you're either young or you're not that good, and you're expected to deliver big time player results when you don't even have that level or that talent.
Like Santi.
Sure, if you want to say that about Santi, but we'll never know because he's not going to play at Chivas.
I don't know how this became a Chivas talk, but I do have Servant who's been patiently waiting. Feel free to speak up, Servant.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's because I wanted to clear up the YouTube comment I left because
Go for it.
I said a couple years because I just don't know how many years like before today he hasn't had that many starts, right? So I'm just saying that if he gets consistent starts, let's say a whole year of consistent starts, then yeah, you can start talking about him, but if he gets inconsistent starts, then like how can he get better, I mean, he can get better, but like, I'm just saying that like, if there's too much like dialogue either way, so like for the good, for like people that like hype him up, you know, like there's too much dialogue for that, and then also for the uh for the people that criticize him, you know, too. There's or like that look like today. I feel like um today is not really a good game to like really look at because like he was like kind of isolated up front. Like I don't think like we were really like trying to like open like open up to him a little bit, you know, like we were just like trying to stay like solid, but
Yeah, he was on an
I
island
don't
out
know.
there.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm like I mean I get it that like we haven't had like that striker, you know, but like I don't know. Like I feel like there's too much dialogue going on around him. And like I just feel uh like I say give him a couple starts. Like once he starts getting consistent starts, then we can be like, yeah, like let's say like he plays in like the Gold Cup or whatever, and then he's not like scoring against like the easy teams, and yeah, like I would be like, yeah, like he's not it. But like I don't know, like there's not that many like informed like strikers in the like that are like young, you know, like around the world. Like I haven't seen like people that are like are on fire, you know. Like I mean, I guess that since he plays in a continent that's not very competitive, then there should be more expectations on him. But I don't know. But like, yeah, I just wanted to clear it up,
Yeah,
clear
for
up what I
sure.
see on YouTube. You know.
The problem is on the national team, you don't really have too many opportunities to start, right? And
Yeah.
he went to Europe, which is already in most people's eyes a sign that he is special and that he's going to be the future of the national team. The problem is he wasn't really part of Lozano's proceso on the under 23, and I'm not really
Yeah.
sure how he rates him as a striker, as a player, in conjunction with the senior players, right? Today,
Mhm.
he was thrown out to the Lions and he failed. And he failed miserably. And unfortunately, that is just something that you have to go through as a player. You're going to get criticized because you're doing so well. You are one of the few players that are out in Europe scoring goals. So, you know, it just comes with the territory. And the next, I don't know when the next opportunity he'll have to start on the national team, but today he showed that I don't think he's ready.
I think he's ready. I mean, he might not be as good as people expect him, but I feel he's ready. It just comes down to the coach. Some coaches they'll adjust for the players, and other coaches won't. They're set on their scheme and the type of player they want. And if you could, some players can adapt, some can't. So it could be very random, and it's but he definitely has the talent to be there.
To be there, not a start. And I
You,
disagree with you guys. He plays in
But but,
CONCACAF. He
but
is
you
not
know
every
what?
day
Like
he's
like
going
a
to pick
friendly
Germany.
game, you want to start players like him in friendly games. That's
Oh,
the
for
point
sure,
of playing these games.
for sure. But
Yeah.
it's not every Jaime. I think it was in what's his name? Said Servant
Servant, yeah.
or
Yeah.
Jaime said that he was thrown to the wolves. I completely disagree. If you're gonna get hyped this way, and you're criticizing the other strikers que valen verga, and they're desgastadores, and they're not good, and this and that. If you're not gonna show what you're doing in Europe in the top 10 leagues supposedly, so we're supposed to judge you off the games against Cuba, Panama, and the rest of CONCACAF,
Hey,
or against an actual good team.
but you know what? That could have been done on purpose too. Jimmy could have been like, let me play this guy this way and see what he does. So you want to see what these players are capable of doing.
It kind of looks like they're trying to put Jimenez to like drag out defenders so that the wingers can have more joy. I think that the channels are made for the wingers, not the striker.
Also, Henry is el desgastador, and Jimenez es el jalador. He pulls the wings because he's not scoring. He can't score penalties.
But he can lure the defense out of
But he'll
position.
lure the defense.
No,
yeah,
but I
so
think that's any striker with the Mexican team. Like I think it's just their style of play. I think he's watching like Liverpool or something. Like only Salah and Diaz can score, but there's no striker. You know. I'm not saying like it has to be Jimenez. I think it's any of our strikers. No.
We'll have to see what Jimmy's vision of the team is. I still haven't quite figured it out. His style, right?
We'll
I
see
feel
at
like it's
the
heavily
Copa
me
America.
based.
Yeah, JP, you need to stop, man. You're bringing tactics, like formation, strategy
Oh, my
to
bad.
this. They only do insults here. So
Hey,
you can break
man.
down the game in the
My bad.
logical way.
That's
my
you,
guy.
bro.
Keep the logic out of here, my guy.
I'm sorry.
You're not
I'm
using
sorry.
any logic. What are you talking about, man?
he says negative facts. Remember, negative
Of
facts.
all the flavors, you're choosing salty.
Hey, but hey, how about that back line of the relegation table European superstars of Montes and
Johan?
Johan, man. I mean, they're in Europe and they're in La Liga or whatever bum teams they're at. But I mean,
What's wrong
think
with
it's
that?
cool that they can communicate without talking. Like real Mexicans, like me and my dad, we don't talk, but I know exactly what he's thinking.
You just move your head, tilt it up.
Yeah.
Say
He's like,
hi.
tráeme la cosa, cabrón. Ya sabes.
Like
Ay,
they
viejo.
already know where each other are at. I feel like their connection is pretty nice. I like it.
He'll whistle at you, and then you know.
Hey, I gotta eat crow. I think Super Elbow had mentioned it before on a previous topic, but I gotta eat crow. Gallardo, man, he's still holding it down over there. As much as we hate him,
It's true. It's true, man. As much as we dislike him, nobody's been able to unseat him, man.
I don't know. He kind of caught my heart today. I don't know.
yeah, he's been doing his thing. Jorge Sanchez, he's still. There's moments where I'm just like, why, bro? Why?
He's still young though.
I would like to see Arteaga, man. Where's
That
Arteaga?
would be nice. Yeah, that's true.
You know, there was all this talk of the team being like headed into dark times. For me, these two games, kind of even from the Gold Cup, show that the team's not really in bad shape, and that there's good players to work with, and some players that can, develop and be even better. I think the big test is obviously going to be Copa America. That's where we're going to see what these guys, how good they can be.
Joel washing dishes over there. Shout out to Joel, multitasking.
Oh no, that's me, man. I'm I'm sanitation expert.
It's typically Joel. We usually blame Joel for those noises.
I was gonna say we all got to pitch in to get Joel a nice
a dishwasher.
No.
He is the dishwasher.
Put like one of those aprons that says "Kiss the Chef" for Joel.
I do have one, but I use it to dry the dishes.
We have Chuy Garcia in the YouTube chat. He says, "My boy Joel." So you getting some love in the YouTube chat.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you.
Disco Fever says, "Wasn't Macias that loser who couldn't make it in a second division team in Spain?" Ouch.
Betis
No,
was in
it's
second division.
It's
Was it Betis?
it's just going on loan, so it's going to be difficult. I don't think I've seen any player going from Liga MX that has gone on loan and landed a contract. I remember Paco Palencia going to Espanyol.
Yep.
And I got to see the game against Real Madrid, and he had a really good match. And, I would think he would have stayed. He ended up coming back. But
he's like, how much am I getting paid? I'm going back.
Well, it's just they're not going to value you. And there's all the politics as well. Just like you were saying, how Mendes can't keep players in EPL. They have their agents over there that can maintain players, or they'll put the they'll put a coach, and then obviously they're gonna have that coach. They're gonna supply the players. So it's always been that politics. Mexico doesn't really have that influence. I think they could have it because, if I'm not mistaken, there's two teams with Mexican ownership, right? I know I think Grupo Pachuca has a team, and I think
Girona, yeah.
yeah, and then there's someone else.
Orlegui?
The dude from Atlas, yeah, Orlegui. And so you kind of, sooner or later they might make inroads over there and be able to bring in coaches or players and make sure that at the very least they get a fair shake. Not now you're there like 4 games in, they're already trying to get rid of you.
So you're
Poor-
saying they're
poor
not.
Nacho.
So you're saying they're not tripling their money by going over there, Joel?
That's
Like
that's
others have
Habibi's
claimed.
take. That's Habibi's hot take.
Oh,
No, it's always a big gamble. For the most part, you're not going to get paid that much more money. And that's been the case for like years. I remember there was a Bolivian player. I'm forgetting his name, but he had scored like 40 goals or something like that in the Bolivian league. And some Spanish team wanted him, and Tecos ends up, beating them. And Tecos, at the time was one of the lowly, like with the small stadium and everything, and they were able to pay more and give him a better contract than.
Was it
the
Jose Alfredo
team-
Castillo?
Yes, good memory, Jaime. Good memory, and I remember the Bolivianos raging. they were mad. They were mad. He ended up in Liga MX. And but see, I mean, dude, this was years ago, and you were seeing Liga MX team outbidding some of those teams over there, which is I'm just pointing that out to see how some of these teams operate, where they'll just get a bunch of players, as many as they can, on loan or whatnot, and then if it's like sink or swim, and if you don't make it, they don't really care. They're not losing money. They just send you back. So a lot of times your stock could drop. For the players, it's like, especially like South America, they're not getting paid that much more, so they have to take that risk.
I have a quote from Johan Vázquez. Me gusta que este verano hubo compañeros que se aferraron a ese sueño y se fueron a Europa. Montes es un compañero que lo conozco de los 10 años. Es un tipo que lo aprecio mucho. Se atrevió a irse a Europa. Nos hablamos hace poco para decirnos que tenemos que seguir luchando por allá. So Johan Vázquez says he's known Cesar Montes since he was 10, and he's very proud of him for taking the gamble and going to Europe. So, speaking to that telepathically, I think they have a good partnership in the back.
Yeah. And being a relegation team is, dude, every match is a fight for survival.
They're going to be busy.
It's good. It's good for your mental toughness. You can't fuck up and then be like, oh, no big deal. It's a really big deal. You have to be on it.
That's poor team talk, man.
That's poor team talk.
What are you talking about?
Only poor teams. It's not a coincidence that most relegation teams are poor, man.
Well, yeah, you have a point right there, and that's what makes it difficult for them to compete, because the other teams can afford better players and have stronger squads, and then they can take the better players from the smaller teams.
Disco Fever says Edson said to TUDN that he wants the FMF to schedule more matches against top tier talent.
Yeah, FMF doesn't schedule the games.
Man, they got this game. They got USA's crumbs. That's what they got.
Yeah, I wonder who initiated that Germany game, because I don't know if FMF has that kind of pool.
Well, no, they can do it. But I mean, they have a contract with Soccer United Marketing, so they do the games through them. Like they're in charge of that. but they can when dude, what was his name? That guy. He was at Chivas. He went to Galaxy. He was with the Mexican national
Too
team.
close.
Yes, Dennis. Dennis, when he was with the Mex team, he got a bunch of games against European teams in Europe. And all you had to
Belgium.
do was pick up the phone. Who knew,
This
dude? Who knew?
This was when he brought back Vela, no?
Yeah.
Around the time, yeah.
You know,
Play Belgium, Netherlands, stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah, he got some good games. But so yeah, I do think Mex has a pool. I mean, Mex is a top 20 team. Usually ranked between 13 and 16. Let's set her at 15. But I mean, that's a really good opponent to play
But the
against.
money's too good, Joel. Why go and play in
Yeah.
Europe for scraps when you can have
Yeah,
your
well, that is
backyard
true.
where you don't have to travel as far, you get paid, you're the local every time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not. It's like you could earn 3 to 4 times the amount because of the gate, and then the TV. You know, of course, the TV. You could have more of the TV rights, and if you're going abroad, it could be way different as far as like how that's negotiated. So yeah, they make a killing just coming to the backyard.
Why play Italy in Italy when you can play the USA for like 200 times in the US, right?
Well, I think what made it very
Pretty
challenging
much. Pretty
was the introduction of Nations League. So the conferences, play amongst the
Oh, yeah.
conferences, and there's not that much
There's that too.
cross pollination. And right now in Europe, all these countries are trying to qualify for the Euros next year. And then in South America, you have everyone trying to qualify for is it the World Cup or is it for Copa America? I don't know.
No,
Well, you got
Copa America,
World Cup
they don't have to
qualifiers.
qualify.
Yeah, World Cup.
Oh, because Neymar's out, dude. He got injured today.
That was World Cup qualifying though.
Yeah. So it's like all these,
Yeah.
federations have their own, or conferences have their own agendas, and where does that leave Mexico, right? We don't have qualifiers. We don't have to, for the next World Cup already in. So it's gonna be hard to schedule more games like we had today against Germany.
Yeah, so I wouldn't call it scraps, dude. That was actually these two friendlies were actually really good games.
Well, they're
Ghana and
good, but
Germany, those are top games to play.
it is, but it just happened to be that you think it just happened to be that USA played them first and then Mexico plays them? Come on, man. That was the plan. Mexico got USA sloppy seconds.
Are you saying USA was like the Henry Martin and they tired them out?
Pretty much.
He was the Gary Payton that tired out Michael Jordan.
Except like Santi, he couldn't score today.
Wait, did they play both teams first? Did they play Ghana as well before Mexico? Or did they play Germany? Or they did the switcheroo?
We played Germany. We played Ghana, and then they played Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there you go. See, come on.
How did they do, by the way? I don't even know.
Yeah, I know they lost to Germany. What they lost?
US won 4-0.
Ah, so we did them a
To
favor.
Ghana, they bounced back.
Mexico lo descansó a Ghana for US. Lo descansó, yeah.
How they do with Germany though? I think they lost, right?
So
they got porked. They got porked, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw it, so I didn't really like.
Chuy Garcia has another question. He says, based on what you saw today and the U.S. result, where does the national team level stand at the moment? Before I let you guys talk, according to Coca-Cola and FIFA, Mexico ranks 12th in the world, right behind the U.S., who's 11. But in the more accurate ELO ratings, they are ranked 21st. Where would you guys rank Mexico?
Mexico's ranked 21st.
The unofficial ELO ratings that everybody, but under Coca-Cola, they're ranked 12.
Yeah, no, to me the ELO's always been more accurate. That's about right, because they had the you could say bad World Cup, and then they really they really haven't had that many high-profile games. They did
Yeah,
win the Gold Cup.
Anything around 25 and under, I think it's fair.
Wait, you think Mex even lower? Colazo, like 25?
I think based on the World Cup that they played, if they had rated them 25, I wouldn't have.
Oh, but
I
they're
wouldn't
20.
have batted them.
But I mean, even in that World Cup, I don't know where they finished. Like what was their finish? Because they did what? They still made 4 points. There's some teams that don't make no points at all. So
No, I mean,
yeah, and that's it.
they hadn't been playing good also after that. No, and I'd be fine
Yeah.
with it. But I think 21 is just. Yeah.
Yeah, and the majority of the World Cups, because Mexico usually ends up around 13th place when when they tally the whole results. Mexico's always around that spot, and they've been doing that for years. This is probably the first time they ended up below that, but I don't think they were like, because was still 32 teams. Probably ended up around 20th, maybe. I'm just thinking top of my head. So yeah, 21st. Then they bounced back, winning the regional tournament, and then
So if we look
Yeah,
at the ELO ratings, Argentina's number 1, France, Brazil, Portugal, England, Spain, Belgium, Netherlands, Croatia, Italy, Colombia, Germany, Uruguay, Japan, Ecuador, Denmark, Switzerland, Ukraine, Hungary, Morocco, and then Mexico. I don't know about that, Chief.
where did they put the U.S.?
26th.
Oh, well, yeah, and I think because some of these teams like Morocco that had like a good World Cup, they give you like
Yeah.
you get more brownie points.
I don't think teams should be rated after 10. It's top 10 and everyone else is just garbage. Or work your way up until 10.
Dude, come on.
Like, what's the point of being ranked 25th or 35th? I mean,
Because there's 200 teams in FIFA, and so
and only 10 matter, man.
No, the World Cup should be what 10 teams.
I wouldn't rank. Sorry, Tom,
bring
but
it
I wouldn't.
to-
I wouldn't rank Italy so high. It looks like they might even qualify for the Euros. So, and they didn't qualify
Yeah, because
for the World Cup, right? So
they missed have they missed the last 2 World Cups? Or they finished?
Dark times, yeah. A lot of
they won the Euro, right?
Yeah, I think they missed the World. Then they won't win.
They won the Euro. They beat England, if I'm not mistaken.
England? Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I
Penalty.
remember the joke. That was a joke. I was the one to say it. Yeah, so they missed the World Cup, then they bounced back and won the Euro, and it's super rated. That tournament's second only to the World Cup. So I think that pulled them back up. And I know Mexicans would love something like that. Like, would you mind missing the World Cup, but then winning the Copa America?
Yes.
I would take that, dude, because I know that's not
Copa
winning
America though.
the World Cup. Dude,
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, why not both?
Copa America or what? Quito partido at the World Cup.
2 Gold Cups.
Yeah. I think.
Well, because that's the deal, Jaime. You're making the deal with the devil. So.
I think we have a good chance to getting in the top 3 in the Copa America next year. I think that's my opinion.
So over Bielsa's Uruguay. We're rating right now. I'm gonna guess just top of my head without even looking at standings.
I'm just trying to look at South America objectively.
Brazil, Argentina.
I don't think
champions Argentina, Brazil. That's just Brazil.
I know Brazil.
Uruguay that has.
It's gonna be Argentina, obviously favorites, and then Brazil, and then from there, is there anyone in CONMEBOL that?
You're saying Lamborghini's gonna knock out Bielsa's Uruguay? Argentina light.
Who does Uruguay have, man? I know that they have Forlan's not there anymore.
Random kids from Montevideo.
I know
They're still gonna get homeless kids from the street.
Forget about Uruguay. Imagine if they run into Chile again.
By the way, I love Uruguay's. I don't know what they do for their talent sourcing, but it's a tiny ass country, and
yeah,
I guess I don't know if they're semi borderline dirty, but gritty, crafty.
It's a garra charrua.
Yeah, they're crafty, like gritty, but the whatever they do, even at the youth level, they got it down. So
it's a soccer mad country, like you said. It's small, so it's easy to scout, and it's like put it like here in the U.S. You have kids starting to play, and they're playing like AYSO, and the coach is somebody's grandpa who never probably saw soccer, and they just have like some guidebook. And then you kind of compare it to Uruguay, where fucking everyone has a cousin that played some type of pro, even if it was third division. But there's that level, and you're playing against a lot of players like that, and everyone.
You're sandwiched between the two greatest, Brazil and Argentina. So I figured that's gonna rub off on you.
Yeah, with Uruguay, their right winger Pelestri, he was actually only bought by United because Forlan told them to do it.
Oh shit! Wow.
Wait, but Forlan flopped at
might
United.
Have that kind of pull. Yeah, but he still has a lot of pull. He talks a lot with them.
Is he the one that got loaned out to that relegation team?
Speaking of,
I think so. Yeah, Bolton, right?
Yeah, that scenario that you guys said, if Mexico were to forfeit a World Cup for a win and another, whatever happened to Federations Cup? Is that no more?
Yeah, they got rid of it to expand the Club World Cup. They might bring it. I hope they bring it back, because that's the next only international trophy. I don't want it to be from a long lost tournament. So I hope they do bring it back, because I really like what they did with it, where it was like a showcase for the World Cup.
Yeah, it was a legit tournament.
Yeah, it was like the dress rehearsal before the actual World Cup.
Yeah,
but it was also cursed though, because everybody that won it had a terrible outing in the World Cup. Like, Brazil won it.
It's a mess. Oh no, wait, you're right.
And
they
then
won in '99
and then Germany won it, right? So it's but they kind of put it on hold to expand the Club World Cup. So yeah, maybe he'll make a comeback. We'll see.
So you wouldn't take that deal, Jaime? For that Copa America?
If we could win Copa America and rub it in Conmebol's face, in a heartbeat, bro.
You read everyone's face. You would rub it in U.S. face. You teabag.
Winning a Conmebol tournament is just, that is the epiphany, right? That is the dream of.
Dude, you know que les va a ver, güey. You know it's gonna do. It's gonna get them all but hurt.
Like, imagine winning Copa Libertadores and Copa America, bro. That is like, we are your daddy, bro.
I think the only ones that will be chill with it will be the Brazilians. And outside of that, other countries in South America will be done.
Yeah. I'm excited for next year. Copa America should be fun. I think it's going to be here in the States, right? So we'll be able to cover it. And
you're going to come to Houston, man. I might go.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah. Maybe we can hook you up with some passes. What I can tell you guys is that SoFi is pulled out. They're not going to try and host any matches for the World Cup. What a slap to the face of whoever designed that stadium, the most expensive stadium of all time, $5.5 billion.
You don't think they were thinking of, like, when they gave the go-ahead, I don't think they double-checked to see what the FIFA requirements were. And I think they were going to try to expand or
it wasn't wide enough to be considered for FIFA.
Joel, when the Kroenke family had that built, they put too many seats down, kind of towards the field level.
Yeah, I've seen those are.
So they're crammed down really low down there, and so that takes away any sort of the what do you call it, space for them to expand for soccer field, right?
Yeah, and another thing too
Yeah,
is for a World Cup final, it has to be 80K thousand seats.
But the rumor I heard today, Jaime, was Vegas might take on some of those games that LA's
Ooh.
missing.
It's a nice stadium.
I like the Rose Bowl. I mean, look at the fucking atmosphere they had on Sunday. Chivas America. It was a friendly, and it was over 80,000 people attended. It was a sight of beauty, man. I love that.
Mostly America fans. Hey, Jaime, I'm glad you brought that up because I've been hearing some hot takes regarding that game
Mm-hmm.
and Leagues Cup.
Oh,
They're saying, "Oh, this is why Leagues Cup's gonna work because look at all these beans in the stadium, right?"
No. I like this. I like this other rumor that I hear about. With America having to forfeit their stadium next year for remodeling. They're thinking about having some games out here for Liga MX. So what do you think of that?
Well, first they have to, MLS has to approve it, and then CONCACAF.
It's not gonna happen though.
It's not gonna happen?
Nah, I'll put money down.
You never know, dude.
Dude, I mean, after the attendance that they had for this friendly, dude.
No, forget the attendance, dude. It's that's always going to be a given. I think it was after Liga MX bent over backwards and spread their cheeks for the Messi Cup. I think it's MLS could say, all right, we're gonna allow it. It's like one time thing type of,
So does this have to be approved by FIFA or just CONCACAF?
I think and MLS too.
U.S. soccer, from what I read.
Yeah, look, dude, they'll take their cut, but I mean, let's think about it, dude. Like, you really want to play those fucking games in El Estadio Azul? That place is ass, dude.
Hey.
It's a fucking
no, that would be crazy. That would be crazy if Ahmed played like their home games at the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be insane, dude.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Do think it would be.
But I mean, saying, my guy.
Huh?
Listen to what you're saying. I told you that the leagues, when they would combine, you do know if they let America do that, that's what it's opening the door for the leagues to combine. It's opening the door for Leagues Cup.
Well, the leagues can't combine, though. FIFA wouldn't allow that.
Yeah,
no,
so FIFA wouldn't allow the leagues to combine, right?
No, it won't.
FIFA won't, right? So why would they let them play a home game in another country? Because that's what
that's been done before.
Because no one watches MLS in the U.S.
You had the Libertadores final played in Spain.
The U.S. Premier League is going to bring a game. Real Madrid, Barcelona, they're going to want to bring a game. It opens a whole box. So no,
that's why it won't happen.
Hey,
because
they do it.
It's not going to happen.
There's too much travel for those teams.
He said before that, that the leagues will never join, blah blah blah. But he's saying that it would be cool if this happens.
Well,
if you think it's so cool that this happens, I'm just warning you. Think about what you're asking for. What's actually
NFL plays games in London, Mexico City, dude.
Yes.
Why can't Liga MX do that?
NFL is the most dominant league in its own sport.
Listen, bro. At the end of the day, money talks, attendance talks, ratings talks, and you can't tell me that if this was sort of a test to see how would a Chivas America game do well in the United States. I mean, dude, they fucking passed that test with flying colors. And
yes, and you're the same guy that's
been happening for years now.
It's 2026 World Cup. I'm just letting you know. Think about the door that's going to open. Because if Premier League, La Liga, see FIFA allow Mexico to host league games in another country in the U.S. with the dollar, that they're not going to want to do it as well, then you're crazy. La Liga,
how's that a bad thing?
What is that?
I said, how's that a bad thing?
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying if even you, Ricardo, you have said it that the World Cup's gonna be all influencers. Well, if you're so complaining
No, I
about
never said that. I
influencers,
never said that.
2026, and not being the game of the people, well, that's what's gonna open the door to.
Bro, why you
If
gotta
you're a
argue
fan,
just to argue, man?
I'm not arguing just to argue.
You just,
I'm just
why you always got
I'm
something
letting
negative to
you
say,
know
bro?
that
It's
I
just
think it's a
like,
terrible idea. If America plays those games here in the U.S., it's going to open the door for a whole lot of other things.
don't they
And for
have
that
offices
reason,
here?
I
America?
don't think FIFA's going
Yes,
to allow it.
they won't
So
open the doors. Come on.
America has an office in New
There
Jersey
you go.
already. So, but let's call
There's already been a
let
lot
me
of
point
games
out the
played
elephant in the
here.
room hole real quick. Habib's
Yeah.
just scared. Ravioli's just scared because he knows America is gonna pack those shitty stadiums out, and they're gonna make up all the money, and they're gonna buy some badass refuerzos, and America's gonna keep porking Chivas. That's what he's scared of too.
Majority.
Ouch.
I see right through your.
My guy, majority of
Tienen
the
miedo,
fans at this
tienen
game on
miedo.
Sunday were Chivas.
I could see them playing the game.
Majority
I
of
don't
the
think they
fans
would
were
have them
Chivas
play the
fans.
whole
What are you
season
talking
here.
about?
If America plays all its home games over here, which I don't think it will happen, but hopefully it does.
No, it won't happen. But
Yeah. But if it does, they're gonna sell out every game and they're gonna rake in that money.
Wait, you
unless
say
they play
hopefully
like
it
in
does. You
different
say
venues.
hopefully just because you live in the U.S.?
I smell the fear, man. Miedo.
Are you saying hopefully just because you live in the U.S. or for other reasons?
Well, was it? But didn't we just say the opposite would be in that shitty Cruz Azul stadium? Cruz Azul so broke they can't buy their own stadium. They got to mooch off America.
Hey! Our stadium was supposed to get torn down to get rebuilt.
Sure.
And how's that going?
¿Sabes qué, güey? Chingas tu madre también. Alright.
Typical Mexicans. Oh yeah, we'll get to it eventually. Let's just.
Hey man, all I'm saying is the same way FIFA turned down Super League, because they didn't want to open that door. This will be. It sets a legal precedent. Is basically all you're allowing. You're allowing the other leagues to come in and say, you allow that, you should allow this, and they'll take it up
There
to whatever
was
court they have to.
a couple years ago when Boca River played the Libertadores final and they had to postpone
It's
it.
an international tournament.
They
It's not a
tried to
league.
host it here. Remember that. They tried to host it here.
But it's an international tournament. It's not the same thing.
And
you can argue that Monaco plays in League One. It's a different country or whatever. Yeah, but they didn't have a league established when they joined. Same thing with the Canadian teams in MLS. There wasn't a Canadian league when they put the Canadian teams in MLS. But right now, what it's open, if they allow that,
oh,
dude, it's gonna open the door for everything.
At the end of the day,
You're trying to say these other teams can force their way in here, and that's not the case. They won't be able to. They could ask. They're gonna send packing because
Why
they're
wouldn't
not
they
gonna
be able to? I mean, all you got
because like we already mentioned, U.S. Soccer, MLS, all of these entities have to approve it. FIFA can't just say let them do it. The host country has to agree to it.
And
they're not going to agree to all these.
wouldn't
No, it'll
agree
kill MLS,
to
dude.
it?
No,
You
it could
think
kill the
MLS
league.
would say no to like Real Madrid,
Yes,
Barcelona, Manchester
playing their home
United,
leagues, yeah.
Liverpool, when they would work out somebody
Yeah.
on the back door as a future thank you?
The back doorway, no way.
We're sending you some
Nope.
players this way, once they're older, whatever the case might be, whatever some business strategy,
way,
whatever
no.
the case might be.
dude, they already play out here
No,
in
you-
the summertime.
You'll
I don't.
kill the league.
But we're talking
Yeah, they
about
already
league
host
games. We're talking about
tournaments.
league games.
There's a time difference too. It won't work out, man.
There's a difference. We're talking about league games.
Listen,
The time difference, it won't work out.
We got
and the travel, time difference and travel. They're not gonna travel over here for a midweek game, and then they have like
yeah
a Champions League and whatever a Copa game.
I'm just
They
saying
already
you can't have
flew
both
14
things.
hours.
I'm just saying you can't have both things.
Wait.
If you allow one, you have to allow the other.
No, you don't. You don't have to allow it
Why not?
because you have the choice.
So if you were a fan from EPL La Liga or one of the directivos and you've been trying to push for this and you saw them allowing another country play league games in the U.S., you wouldn't use that in your benefit for your argument?
No, but it doesn't matter.
What do you
They
mean?
could
Would
just
you?
say
If you
no.
were directivo from England
Yeah,
and you've been trying to
you could
bring
use
things
that,
over
but
here
that's
for
not gonna
league
do
games in
anything.
the U.S.,
But you
Yeah,
don't
but
think
that's
they
not
already
gonna do
have that?
anything.
They already have that with other countries like Japan. I've seen teams like Bayern or EPL teams go to Japan
Yeah,
or
they
Saudi
do
and
their
play games.
tours over
Yeah,
there,
but
they
we're
dude.
make
talking
money
about
that.
league games. What part do you guys don't understand? We're talking about an actual
But the
Dude,
time
We're
league.
talking
who
about
cares,
official league games.
man? Who fucking cares? We have Albert joining us. I want to hear him talk because
Hey,
Tapatio. What's up,
going on,
man?
guys? How's it going? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, dude.
All right.
Loud and clear.
Okay, what's going on? Hey, you know what, Joel? I don't know if you remember. Back in the '90s, they played an official league game from the Salvadorian League in the Coliseum, and then I guess they couldn't do it, and the league and the teams got fucking got some sanctions on them. So
Oh wow.
that's a precedent right there. And I don't know if anybody remembers before MLS, they a team in LA called the LA Salsa. They got
Yeah,
a pass to. They joined not the Liga Mexicana, the
second
Primera,
division.
segunda división, and
Yeah,
they were set to play. They were set to play games, but then MLS materialized and
yeah, they shut it down. The owner of Salsa was
De
Doctor
La
de la
Peña.
Peña Eye Clinic.
Yeah, I used to live
Who went
like
on?
2 blocks from his from his office, and I would see the
Oh
fucking
shit!
I would see the he would have two. He would have the LA Salsa, and then
He played with the East LA.
right, well, it was in the border of East LA and Montebello, but his office was in Montebello. So when Salsa fell through, he became a social with Celaya, and then he put
Yeah, Celaya.
a big ass sticker in his in his office. It was
His Salsa team fails, and then he becomes with Celaya. They end up with a bunch of Real Madrid players.
yeah, he went over there. Yeah,
He went-
but because he was he had well he wanted to join the league, so that's why he had a the reason he started salsa was because his intention was to put it in the Mexican league, and then when MLS fucking shit in his party, he fucking went through. He financed all the Butragueño and all those. He financed all those moves.
Wow.
Yeah, and then going honestly, I think it's a pipe dream. I mean, the mighty EPL tried to do it. I mean, that's fucking printing money. With they wanted to do the international match day, and fucking they said no. And then they wanted then the La Liga wanted to do something like that. They said no. And unless with the shit that the business they've been doing lately with the
well,
fucking
yeah, that's
maybe,
yeah,
maybe they there's some fucking partnerships there.
well, that was the. I mean, think about it. Like Liga MX pretty much went over backwards. They even made changes to their own league to accommodate this cup.
And you know
So
what?
you're Liga MX. Well, why are you going to do all of that?
Yeah,
And with
exactly.
the Pachuca owner even said it. Monetarily, we're making pennies, but there's some shit on the table that later is going to be W. And this could
And
be
you know
it.
what?
This could be part of it.
Maybe they put provisions that okay, you can hold the games, but hold them in non-MLS months or hold them in non-MLS cities or shit like that, like Phoenix or something like
Yeah,
that. Maybe.
yeah, it makes sense.
I
But
think
I see it
someone.
as a pipe dream. But like you said, who knows? Who knows what they negotiated because
Wait, didn't they let Max play? What was it like? Some was it World Cup qualifying games?
Yeah, remember
Some
they
one
let him play. They let him play it in the Alamo Dome against fucking what was
some
it?
small
Mexico
team.
was supposed to be the home team, but it was against Suriname, one of those shitty teams, and they let him play in San Antonio. Yeah.
Yeah, they made exceptions for when Mexico's the away team, but not.
No, but that one it was a Mexico home game, but I don't think they wanted to. It was either I forgot. I think it was a qualifier. It was they were supposed to Mexico was a home team, and they ended up having they ended up having it in San Antonio.
Was
I
that
mean,
with Chucho? Was that with Chucho as the coach?
I
Like
believe
interim?
it
Did
was
he play
it was in
China?
that 2000. It was towards South Africa, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, he won in 05.
Yeah,
Wait, no,
he won the
no.
Battle of Five, and then he took over the team in
After
08.
Hugo, right?
Then he had it
Yeah,
for a couple, he had
he
it
was
for a couple.
interim. Joel right after they fired Hugo, no?
Yeah, exactly.
And
There
then
you go.
they
There you go.
brought in Sven.
Yeah, there you go. And that period, yeah, because they did they had to do like a pre-qualifying round before the group stage.
Man, y'all got good memories.
Hey, Chavos, I'm gonna head on out.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have a good night. Great pod. Hey, Albert, send me a DM with your address, bro, because I want to save your life from a fire sometime in the near future. All right, we're gonna replace those batteries on your fire alarm. Just so you know, I care about you.
Oh, you
All right.
We can hear
I've
the
had that
chirp.
shit like it's been like that for 15 years, dude.
Oh my
I know,
God,
bro.
dude.
I know.
We talked about it on the DMs. Like, all right, someone had a chirp last episode. Who hasn't changed their batteries?
It's gonna save your life, bro.
I'll get to it.
Yeah, just like they're doing the Estadio Azul. Yeah, we'll get to it eventually.
Exactly. Bueno, chavos. I'll catch y'all later.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us, Abdias.
Night.
We are on the 2.5 hour mark, but if you guys want to keep going, I'm all for it. I know some of y'all joined late. Story here today, though, 2-2 victory. Tie against Germany. Some people would call it a victory. Albert, what'd you think of the game? You know, did you like Mexico? Do you like Jimmy?
I like Mexico.
Yeah.
I think it's been a couple months. Lozano's been working, and he shook up he finally the team has shaken off that funk they had from the Tata Martino era, the Battle World Cup. Finally, the team shook it off. They showed attitude. I mean, because one of the things that worried me and my friend was this fucking team is not showing any intensity. What's going on, and this is just this is what the team needed. They needed this type of challenge, and I honestly it was a tie, but it's this type of games that just leave you happy, and most of all, they give as a fan they give you hope. So I mean, it's all around it was a good night to be a 3 fan.
Oof. Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
That's a week. That's a good week.
It was good. It was good. I mean, honestly, the team played offensive football, and then what really surprised me were the fucking quick ass transitions the team made. Lozano is Lozano's hand is starting to show. Obviously, we saw the team still has fucking issues. Fucking, they can't defend the fucking a corner to save their lives. But it's it is what it is. But honestly, I was impressed by that transition play.
The attitude is praiseworthy, especially usually in games like this, you want Mexico to score first.
Mm-hmm.
You get that motivation, and they went down, and they went one, and to see them still like not give up and
the river bounced back. Yeah, like I told you, they shook off the funk. It was that funk that Tata left. And that was still, and then with Coca it got even worse. I mean, the team, it's giving every 3 fan hope. So hopefully it's upward and onward, and they have a good Copa America. Which they got to qualify first, but
yeah,
I don't see why.
I
think it's going to be Honduras, isn't it?
I saw a tweet. It's Honduras, but I mean, it's not official, but that's the rumor. It's Honduras.
And it's home in a way.
It's
like a group.
Mexico, Honduras, Estados Unidos, Trinidad y Tobago, Costa Rica versus Panama, and Canada versus Jamaica.
Yeah, they should be able to get through. I mean, I like what I saw tonight. I mean, I've been down on the team. I even had some doubt, like what the fuck. But I mean, it's
how many spots are they giving us?
Vasquez, he's legit in the backer. That's his spot. Vasquez and Jorge Sanchez. This is the Jorge Sanchez everybody was raving about. So I think all around it was a maybe Gallardo was getting burned a little bit, but
How many spots are they giving us for Copa America?
I
Like 4 or
believe
6.
I believe there's a wild card too. There's like a wild card.
Yeah, it was like
1,
6
2,
teams.
3, 4. 4.
Just 4?
Just 4.
6?
Should be 6.
And a wild
Should
card.
have been 16.
And then there's a play-in round winners. I don't know what
Yeah,
that
that's
means.
what the losers.
Oh, okay. It says CONMEBOL 10 teams and then CONCACAF 6 teams.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 6. Yeah,
So
yeah.
wait,
It's
there's
the
a
two
second
losers
chance
go-
if
go
you
to
play.
The
the
teams
4
will
losers. The 4
okay.
losers play in. Yeah, the 4 losers of the semis. Yeah.
The teams will
Or
be
the-
in
Four
the
losers.
in the 4 League A quarterfinal winners and the 2 play-in round winners between the 4 losing.
Okay, I get it. I
losing
get it. So if Mex lost to Honduras, they still have a second chance.
Yeah,
to
they go
in.
to a second round. Yeah.
Oh, unlike
Wait, but if,
unlike the Copa America Centenario, the United States will not qualify
Yeah,
automatically.
that surprised me. That surprised me when I saw it in the summer. I was like, "What's going on?" I mean, it'd be because there were a lot of U.S. fans gloating, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna." And I told them, "No, it's you guys got qualified."
you know what? Given that there's no World Cup qualifying, it's good to have a qualifying.
Exactly. You know what? That's what I thought
It's
about.
something meaningful.
Yeah, I was like, why are they fucking making all these fucking bullshit fucking nation leagues? But you're right. They're making them, to have some competition.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a first.
Honduras been trashed, so that's good for me.
You know what?
For Mex.
I don't know what's happening with Central America. Panama. Panama's they're the strongest team. They've been for a while, but I mean Honduras and Costa Rica. I mean Costa Rica had a weird World Cup.
Unfortunately, Mexico plays at their level of their opponent. Today it's Germany,
Yeah.
tomorrow it's Honduras, and you'll see 2 completely different games, unfortunately.
And they play yeah, and especially if they play in San Pedro Sula.
You'll see them step their game up against Germany, and then you'll be like, wait, is this the same team? When they play against Honduras and they don't know what to do when they bunker ball, when Honduras plays with 11 defenders.
Yeah, and luckily, there's no qualifying, so you don't have to go through those headaches, and if they play, this friendlies, hopefully it's against, it's going to be more of these. I like this type of friendlies, man. I mean, it's it's something different, and it's good to see some good opponents. I mean, how many times can you see Mexico play, Guatemala and have the Guatemalans bunker down? I mean, it leaves you nothing.
Yeah, we'll see how quickly they'll incorporate Quinones into the national team. Will he play in this qualifier, or will they wait for him to play against his country, Colombia, in December?
Nah,
I think it's gonna. I mean, if the qualification the tickets on the line, he's gonna use them. He's gonna use them.
For sure, folks.
Yeah, if you're Jimmy, if I was Jimmy, I'll call him as soon as possible.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't see the wait.
I know he was already training with the team. They
it was the last fecha
camp.
FIFA.
Yeah,
he was at Dakar. He was training with the team. So I mean, he's already, they already have a notion what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. Liga MX is back. Thank the Lord. Match week 13 will start on Friday. Atlas Mazatlan, Juarez Pachuca, and then Chivas actually play on Friday as well against Puebla at 8 p.m. It'll be a good way to get back into the swing of things. They come off of a defeat on Sunday against America 2-0, and everybody was talking shit that it was Chivas' starters versus America's B team, and they still beat them. So they're friendlies, Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I was there. I mean, they didn't even show up to the mix zone. They just, got out of there.
Oh, they didn't have a press conference after?
No, they had not. No, it was like honestly, it was a real low budget affair. To tell you the truth, America, they just they on the mix zone, they just threw a Layun out there. That was
So he said he's retiring, but he's going to finish off this season?
Yeah, he's gonna finish. What he told us was, this was most likely his last game with America in the U.S. And at the end of the season, he's done. The end of the tournament, I mean.
Does he deserve a going away match, or is he just not big enough to get that?
You know what? honestly, it's just the phenomenon. I think the phenomenon that surrounded him deserves some sort of recognition. I mean, I believe he was the first Mexican athlete during the social media age that had to deal with bullying, and he crushed it, with the dos culpa de la Yun, and
He embraced it.
he
Yeah.
had a good career. He had a good career. He played champions, with America and
World
with
Cup.
a World Cup starter. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if the Azul Crema faithful consider him an icon, but I mean, he was part of that. That good era with the good era the team had last decade. I mean, who knows?
Well, we have our number one America fan here. Maybe he can shine some light on us and his opinion towards Layun.
Everything no. Good riddance. The guy's a bum. I mean, you just got to keep in account. It just takes away credit from Chivas' victory against America in the last league. Yeah, because that bum was starting.
Huh.
Wow. He was the first player to go to the Italian league, Mexican player.
Yeah.
And he's the second player
Wait.
with
Oh, no.
Lebanese.
No, he wasn't the first one.
Yeah, he was.
No, there was
No, Pineda
another
didn't
guy
play.
from America.
Pineda was
No?
just on the. He just
But
went.
he
to
went.
train.
Who?
But just to go train.
Who?
Didn't they buy him?
Who?
Oh, Pedro Pineda. No, it was a mistake.
Yeah, Pedro
It
Pineda.
wasn't a mistake. They
It
didn't.
was a mistake.
That's what I heard. Was that they wanted that they saw that the Inter saw him at a underage World Cup, and then they meant to get another player, and that they summoned him, and he trained, and I think he sprung a friendship with who was it, fucking Donadoni or Baresi, and he just trained, but he never debuted.
It says he was at Milan, but yeah, like you said, he never.
No, he didn't.
Even if you don't play, you still if they signed you.
No, but he didn't play a match.
I don't think that counts, dude.
This thing says he was signed. Dude, if you were signed, you're signed. I mean,
It's like that one guy.
technically right to play.
Who's that one guy who like would fake an injury? Like he never actually was that good, but he kept faking an injury.
Here, to Albert's credit, he was signed by the club after the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in 1991.
Yeah. But I think it was a mistake. I think they wanted somebody else. They sent him the plane ticket, and he went, and then nobody picked him up in the airport, and then he struck a friendship with I think it was Baresi, and Baresi let him spend time in his house, and that was pretty much it for.
That's crazy. Didn't that happen to Salcido when he went to PSV? Like no one picked him up. He went to a McDonald's.
Yeah, he wanted. The guy was late. There's some Peruvian. Probably did it on purpose.
Was this
He
the
got to the
Farfan?
airport late.
Was it Farfan?
Yeah.
Wow.
They sent the Spanish speaker to go get him.
He's like, vos, yo no sé quién es ese güey.
Weón.
Weón. Yo no sé quién es ese weón. Yeah. For sure, folks. Well, want to put a bow tie on this episode. I love the energy tonight. We had a lot of new speakers today, so I encourage everyone to return and to continue to participate on our podcast, whether you're on YouTube or on Twitter Spaces. But this is your time to shine, folks. Who wants to go first on these closing thoughts?
I'll go first. You want to go first?
Go on. Yes, mine's is quick. Jaime, don't forget to watch He Got Game.
I will.
Oh, I overheard you guys talking about that movie. That movie's trash hole.
Yeah. What? Oh, dude.
He's a garbage director, man. He's horrible.
Dude, that movie, Summer of Sam, is good too.
If you want to watch a good or recent, a modern good movie,
White Man Can't Jump is also a really good movie. I'm sorry, you can't say Spike Lee's trash.
He made that one?
Who?
Yes.
White Man Can't Jump?
Spike Lee. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, that's his only good one then.
I can't remember a good Spike Lee movie. Maybe Do the Right Thing. I don't know.
Oh,
You
that one
didn't
was
see White
real
Man Can't
trash,
Jump
man.
Yeah.
with
You know what? I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't see the other one. I saw
Blade
the
and Woody
modern,
Harrelson?
I saw the modern version on Hulu.
Oh no, dude, no,
The
you don't want to see Modern Audiences.
the one with Wesley Snipes is good.
Yeah, Blade.
No, but if you guys have Netflix, watch Reptile. It's a crime drama. It's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you know what? You want a good series? They don't have it in the U.S., but they have it in Amazon Mexico. It's called Arena. I don't know if you ever saw the skit with
Oh, of
the
course.
cop that did cocaine.
Oh, dude,
It's on
yes.
Prime. Yeah, it's on Prime.
It always makes me laugh, dude.
It's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it.
The series is phenomenal, dude.
Yeah, I'm
Oh man,
surprised.
I need to watch it. Then.
I'm surprised that that YouTube video turned it into a Prime series.
You were able to fucking flesh it out into an actual fucking series.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah.
and you know what? It's just the jokes hit, the casting is perfect,
Yeah,
and the
it's good.
the story is well developed. It's like it doesn't have a lot of filler like fucking like Club de Cuervos. That there was some fucking this is just filler. Nah, the whole thing just fucking flows.
Yep.
Is it that? Because I saw another clip, but I don't know if it was part of the skits or part of the show where he starts talking to because he has a female
A
partner, right?
A female partner, yeah.
And he's talking about her dad's dick.
Oh yeah, that's an episode.
It's not too vulgar me saying it, but
because the I don't want to spoil her, but the thing was that her dad wasn't a cop. He would pose as a cop, but he was really a stripper that dresses as a cop. So el teniente Preto found out from an old school friend of his that he was an informant for the cops, and that he would sacrifice his body to bring down mafiosos. It's good shit. You gotta watch it. It's good shit.
Yeah.
This conversation was so fucking random, but it had me rolling.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was. Like I just saw a clip.
No,
I don't know if it was just it's part of the show.
Yeah, it's seriously, it's fucking it's like Club de Cuervos had its moment, but there were fucking times where it just fucking fell off the rails.
Yeah.
Nah, at least for season 1, it's fucking
Yeah.
It's only 8 episodes, so it flows very well.
Good stuff. I can always use some new shows on Netflix. Who wants to go with their closing thoughts?
I'll go. You know what? I'm going to talk about it again. You know, this tonight gave everybody hope. You know, like I think there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, Mexico." They're even saying Mexico's gonna go out in the first round of the World Cup. You know, we saw that they could play with a heavyweight. You know, Germany is obviously they're not doing they haven't been doing well, but you saw that lineup, fucking Rudiger, Gudingen, they fucking top 8 guys, and Mexico kept up with them, and if you contrast it with what the U.S. did against them, it's even better. So it's not as gloomy as it looked a couple months ago. So
That's true.
there's hope.
Yeah.
For what? I don't know, but at least not to have an embarrassing embarrassing cup at home. So we'll see.
We'll see.
I'll go next, man. Regarding Mexico, I'll reserve my judgment until the Copa America. This isn't the Germany I grew up watching and rooting for. The only good thing you can say about Mexico, honestly, is Chiquito Sanchez. That guy looks legit, man. And it's always good to see America pork Chivas in front of 90,000 people.
Yeah, man. Chiquito Sanchez is he's winning everybody over. And for all the manlets out there, si se puede, man. Height ain't a thing.
Hey, does he play the same position as El Pene Beltran?
I don't think so. I think he plays a little bit above him, no?
Ask Habibi. He's the X's and O's fantasy coach.
Beltran plays a little more backwards. Beltran, he recuperates the ball a little more than Chiquito. Chiquito plays more forward, more
Okay.
upwards.
Just asking.
And the thing with Beltran is Paunovic has tried him a little more forward, like playing kind of like Chiquito does, and he needs more space to operate.
For sure. Habibi, you've been quiet for a little bit too long, man.
No, it's here doing some work. No, like I said last podcast, I'm not a big fan of international breaks. You know, I only like international. There's some tournament going on, Euros, Copa America, World Cup, whatever it might be, but or even like qualifiers. But if it's just like friendlies that I'm not too fond of, get them out the way. Let's go back to the league games. So let's see what Chivas does. You know, Alexis Vega, Chicote Calderon, and Raul Martinez, they've been accepted back to the team per ESPN. They're going to start training with the team again. So, you know, that's a clown show right there. They had a good win against Atlas, but then they lost to America's subs and academy players. So 50-50. We got Champions League back. Excited to see Santi Dios in Champions League against Lazio. I know he'll pop off with a couple goals there. And then excited to watch Bellingham. He got man of the match today against Italy. So I think that's like his 8th man of the match. So, you know, this year they're going to get Ballon d'Oro to Messi because, you know, FIFA gifted him the Qatar World Cup. Only makes sense that he gets the Ballon d'Oro as well, even though Haaland had an impressive season. But I think Bellingham is in contention to win next year's Ballon d'Oro just because he plays at Madrid and he's doing well.
Jude is the real deal. Holyfield, man. He's one of the best midfielders in the world. Absolutely. As far as Lazio, Santi finally served his two game ban. So this will be his Champions League debut next Wednesday at 9:45 a.m. We'll see. Elbow, are you still on?
I'm still on, man. I'm here with you guys.
The floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, no, it was nice to. It's been a while since I had a chance to watch any games, and it was nice to watch these two international friendlies and get about a game and a half of solid play from El Tri. Just the enthusiasm and pace that they played at, and again, you mentioned they were hauling ass to try to show Germany that they had some balls, man. And I really enjoyed the game. As far as Liga MX, I got to get back and find the time to start watching again. I lost a little bit of track after that. What was that? That league, that Nations, or what do they call that, Leagues Cup thing or whatever they were doing with the MLS. But yeah, I completely dropped off at that point. But just wanted to see if Chivas can turn it around a little bit. I think it's something that we had noticed in the preseason. Me and I don't know if it was you, Jaime, but we were talking about how they were playing better without Vega. So,
Yeah.
and quite frankly, if he's not in the game, that's perfectly fine with me, as long as they could play at a decent level and see if they could catch up the top four teams. But yeah, no, it's been fun to be back.
Welcome back, Elbow. Definitely missed you, and we'll see what happens this weekend with Chivas. Joel, last but not least, man. Maybe he's washing dishes.
Nah, yeah, he got game.
He got offended. Everybody shitted on his movie.
No, that was my final thought.
Oh.
Don't forget you. Women can jump.
I'll have to
You
watch
didn't
it.
see that either, Jaime.
I'll-
Dude, you don't like basketball? I thought you like basketball.
Yeah, I watch basketball. Absolutely.
I'm not a big fan, but I like it.
There's this movie with
If you have to-
Adam Sandler that's good about basketball. It's called Hustle. It's on Netflix.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but then you have to see those two. Then
Yeah, I've seen
those two movies.
the Air up here, I think.
They're
Well,
up there.
the air up there with Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yeah.
Watch Chips, man.
All right, I will.
Hey, but I wanted to say that guy Danny, he's always listening, and I seen his profile. It says Chivas, Juventus, Real Salt Lake. That's a interesting combination to root for, man.
Oh, also Japan.
Oh,
A la verga.
Italian.
This guy's supporting everything.
He's that fan with like that shirt that's like half and half, like Guatemala or things like that.
You know, back in the big soccer days, we had a poster by, well, I think his name was Otaku, and he was like, I think he was like Mexican Japanese, man, and he was a Cruz Azul fan. So I don't know, man. We have Mexicans everywhere, all over the world. So I definitely love the Japanese Mexican connection for sure. I don't really have anything for you guys. I will say, again, I love the energy tonight with everyone hopping on, some new faces, some new voices. Definitely encourage you guys to share this podcast with other folks who might not be subscribed. Unfortunately, with Spotify, they've changed their threshold on the advertising, so we've lost monetization. So I would appreciate our listeners to continue to spread the word about us and participate on the podcast. And we do set up the polls every episode on Spotify, so you can participate there. And also we appreciate any and all feedback to improve. But love you guys, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Signing out, Cantina MX. We'll catch you. Bye. YouTube. Love the energy tonight. Thank you guys, of course. And of course,